let's get into some music, all right? These songs I'm about to play for you to listen to are songs which were exclusively produced by Octavia Landix. And if you don't know, this woman is a very, very powerful woman with a lot of experience and genius. I call her the genius. Yes, because some of the things that she does, trust me, I can't even think about those things. So these are songs which she had, some of the songs, not songs, some of the songs she has produced, I believe, a lot of songs. But these are the ones she sent to actually cater for our listeners right here on TBRLIVE.Africa. So I'm going to play these songs and you girls can tell me what you think about it. First song is titled Light a Fire. All right. Produced by Octavia.
The Booth Radio Live from the Roots.
So Sunshine was asking me that if these songs were produced by her and somebody else won the Grammy, then who won it? Because these songs are too clean. They are very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Powerfully produced. So listen carefully.
Can you you said the song is Light a Fire?
Light a Fire.
Who's the artist?
Produced by Octavia. Yes, she will tell us when she comes.
Okay.
When she comes on. So just listen to the songs and enjoy.
Light me up, set my body on fire. When you touch me, make me feel alive. Automatic, feel like magic. Water crashing, only you can make me drown. All I'm asking, don't leave me out here, come see me, so we can be alone. Keep it up, turn me up, touch my waist, I felt a flame. Light it up, 911, light a fire in this place. Light a fire in this place. Light a fire in this place. Spontaneous explosion. When I see you, my heart go boom. You know you done to me. Now I need you urgently. It's dangerous, but I like it. I keep playing with fire. Control that heat, make me feel safe. Automatic, feel like magic. Water crashing, only you can make me.
Yeah, drop fire emojis in the chat.
Don't leave me out here, come and save me, so we can be alone. Turn me up, touch my waist, I feel the flame. Burn it up, 911.
Fire!
Fire in this place. Light a fire in this place. Light a fire in this place. Keep it up, turn me up, touch my waist, I feel the flame. Burn it up, 911. Light a fire in this place. 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 Fire in this place, baby.
Yes, that's Light a Fire. Octavia Landix with that genius. Next song is titled Lava Girl. Lava Girl. All right. Listen to that one, yeah.
I know what I do and what I don't want. Just want a little vibe that ain't doing too much. It's been a little while, gotta re-up. Shout out to my boss, still cut them all off. Got times when I do my girl math, it ain't adding up. Full drive, should probably post out to make a back up. I'm such a lover girl.
Hold up.
The Booth Radio Live from the Roots. We survive.
Just want a little vibe that ain't doing too much. It's been a little while.
Fire!
Shout out to my boss, still cut them all off. Got times when I do my girl math, it ain't adding up. phone dry, should probably post out to make it back up. I'm such a lover girl. As long as I get what I need, I'll let you take control. As long as you don't play about me, don't ever tell me no. It's better when you do what I say. Cause at the end of the day, I'ma do it my way. I won't go back and forth. Oh, from here on out, and I'm getting in my way. Get with the program, babe. Oh,
Where the lover girl them there?
got no problem saying goodbye.
Where the sweet lover girl them there?
Boy, you at the
I say you graduate from lover girl.
night. You
Pick up all of the sweet girl them in the chat.
trust tonight. I know you wanna come with me. I'm on my own tonight. Getting close, but let's try. I ain't scared of a goodbye. Boy, you are the only one I get for my time tonight. You tryna link, but you ain't in my plans tonight. I know you wanna come with me. I'm on my own tonight. Getting close, but let's try. I ain't scared of a goodbye.
Okay, well, I can tell you wanna slide by the look in your eyes. Stop playing, baby, like you ain't feeling the vibe.
Hell no, fall back. You be doing the most. Don't be talking to me crazy like I'm one of these.
One of these, girl, you tripping, babe. But that attitude I like, you can get it, babe.
I ain't easy, you can miss me. I ain't the one you could toss like a frisbee. Van Cleefy, you lucky if you keep me. Face card T and my body like eat me. Hands down, baby, I'm that. Better come correct, I don't play that.
Not trying to play, you trying to lay you down. Hell up, can you take these rounds? BB's on the neck, do you see this? I'm him. Stop playing hard to
I'm
get.
such a lover girl. As long as I get what I need, I'll let you take control. As long as you don't play about, don't ever tell me no. It's better when you do what I say. Cause at the end of the day, I'ma do it my way. I won't go back and forth. Oh, from here on out, and I'm getting in my way. Get with the program, babe. Oh, I swear I ain't got no problem saying goodbye. Came close, but nice try. Boy, you ain't the only one I get for my time tonight. You tryna act, but you ain't in my place. Now you wanna come with me, I'm on my own tonight. Tonight I'm on my own, but nice try. I ain't scared of a goodbye.
So intelligent, you know what I'm telling you, I represent for who? Trap God, you don't know. Run it.
But you ain't in my place tonight. I know you wanna come with me, I'm on my own tonight. Came close, but let's try. I ain't scared of a goodbye.
Big up the boot, Ghana radio station, gone worldwide. You should have known, see a herb seed straight from out of Jamaica. Say that up full, upness, up move, Jalove, blazy, play music.
Blessings to everybody. Does my microphone sound right? Because I don't know. Does it sound good?
You sound fine.
Please tell me in the chat, or anybody can tell me.
Yeah, you sound
Is it
good.
all right? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Next song is titled All For You. And this has a different Caribbean vibe, right? Wicked Caribbean vibe to this song produced by Octavia. So listen to this one here.
Misty, love for music. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey. Mr. Sweezy.
Riva Diva.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's like 1 + 1 = 2. Baby girl, I wanna be with you. The woman in my life. Me glad you are my wife. Anytime you come around, yeah, woman, you wear that crown. I love you, me baby. I love you, me lady. Baby, you're the one for me. And I pray that you can see all the sacrifice I'm making in our life. We're gonna be alright. No need to worry.
Don't worry.
We're gonna be alright. Ups and downs, you got me. We're gonna be alright. Bring down the moon and the stars.
The Booth Radio Live from the roots we survive.
Mr. Swayze.
Riva Diva.
All for you.
It's like 1 + 1 = 2. Baby girl, I wanna be with you. The woman in my life. Me glad you are my wife. Anytime you come around, yeah, woman, you wear that crown. I love you, me baby. I love you, me lady. Baby, you're the one for me, and I pray that you can see all the sacrifice I'm making in our life. We're gonna be alright. No fire. Don't worry. We're gonna be alright. Ups and downs, you got me. We're gonna be alright. Bring down the moon and the stars. Come on, the girl, and we will go far. Caressing you is all I wanna do. Bring you the world and make your wishes come true.
The mix of the song. Mad.
You say 1 + 1 = 2. Baby boy, that's just me and you. How the love that we have so
Solid
strong.
production,
Baby boy,
wicked
you know you
artist
got
too.
me sprung. Never thought I'd meet a man like you. Curly burner, you are my boo. From beginning to end, why you are my friend. Baby, you're the one for me. I want you to know that I can see all the sacrifice you're making in our life. We're gonna be alright. No need to worry. We're gonna be alright.
Fire!
So long you got me. We're gonna be alright.
Bring down the moon and the stars. Come on, the girl, and we will go far. Caressing you is all I wanna do. Bring you the world and make your wishes come true. Bring down the moon and the stars. Come on, the girl, and we will go far. Caressing you is all I wanna do. Bring you the world and make your wishes come true.
Fire!
No, your production is spectacular.
The Booth Radio Live from the roots we survive.
My name is Kurt Swayze.
Blessings to everybody watching.
Straight out of Belize to the world.
All right, so that's all for you. Produced by Octavia Landix. So all the songs were produced by her, except the one titled Lover Girl, which I played first. That one she mixed and mastered it. But all the songs, apart from Lover Girl, she actually produced. Like, is it me? Run it up from scratch. Is it? Next up in my playlist is Hey Doctor. And then the last one that I'm going to play is called Queen. And I dedicate that song to all the queens. Yeah. I dedicate that song to all the queens. So I'm going to play Queen last. But next up is titled Hey Doctor, produced by Octavia.
Play your favorite song on the jukebox at the highest volume. Throw your hands up and do not put them down. We living out loud. Tonight I'm not gonna waste my time. I made up my mind. I'ma spend the whole night out and all the things I've only dreamed of. I got party fever. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots of tequila. Makes the world go round and round.
When the tune nice, we play it more than twice. When it's a pull up, play it again.
Turn up the volume, feel the rhythm, and let the music take control. You're locked into midnight reggae vibes.
Play your favorite song on the jukebox.
Fire!
At the highest volume. Throw your hands up and do not put them down. We living out loud. Tonight I'm not gonna waste my time. I made up my mind. I'ma spend the whole night out and all the things I've only dreamed of. I got party fever. 1 shot, 2 2 shots, 3 shots of tequila. Makes the world go round and round. Wildin' out, taking down glass bottles by the liters. Tonight we running this town. Cut my heartstrings, let me go. This is what I came here for. I don't need to sleep tonight. If that's wrong, I don't wanna be right. Hey doctor, give me something that fills me up with a good vibe.
Fire!
I'm here to have a good time. Hey doctor, give me something that lets me in with a good night. I'm here for the good vibes. If it's only bartender mix me a potion. Helps me move my feet. I wanna put the good vibes in motion. Just put the tab on me. I just want everybody to leave their problems at the door. Forget about the 9 to 5. All that money don't matter no more. Don't get your feelings mixed up. Wait till the music picks up. You gon' be feeling like a million bucks. See all in here clicked up. Who can judge you if you're looking for a quick Cut my heartstrings, let me go. This is what I came here for. I don't need to sleep tonight. If that's wrong, I don't wanna be right. Hey doctor, give me something that fills me up with a good vibe. I'm here to have a good time. Hey doctor, give me something that lets me in with a good night. I'm here for the good vibes. Good vibes only.
So that was Hey Doctor. Now, this one is dedicated to all the queens. Before I play this, I'd like to big up my brother, Curve Tabas, all the way from New York. Big up yourself, Curve. Enough respect. Thank you so much for joining the panel. Curve is also a promoter in New York, so big up Curve, all the way from New York. Enough respect, my brother. Yeah, man, enough respect. All right, so this one here goes to all of the queens them, is it me? The wonderful ladies them, is it? Yeah, man. All the ladies in the chat and in the box. Enough respect. You know, them can't box you. You know, say your thing tight and your thing good and you're excellent, you're genius. That tune you for the girls them. So if you are no girl, go on with it. Are the girl them we are dealing with now, is it? So, Queen, produced by Octavia.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen better 10 toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen better 10 toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
It's like the girl them sleep. Are you asleep? Where the girl them like? Who no sleep? Huh? Don't ramp with me thing, you know. Eh? Pull up that.
Big up the boot, Ghana radio station, gone worldwide. You should have known, see a herb seed straight from out of Jamaica. Say that up full, upness, up move, Jah love, blazy, play music.
Fire!
The Booth Radio Live, from the roots we survive.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen better 10 toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen better 10 toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen better 10 toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen better 10 toes down.
They be like, yo queen, why you got an attitude? Always be so mad and be so rude. It's cause I walk that walk, talk that talk. Don't test me, big boss energy. I ain't never been a square, just a diva. Don't get it twisted, I ain't for play. So get out my face before I catch a case. Don't trip, you never catch me with my guard down.
Fire!
I'm just a wreck, cause soft little punks get no respect. Everywhere I go, I'ma set the tone. Don't play by your rules, cause I make my own. Kicking up dust, setting off alarms. Taking over this rap game by storm. Don't you know I'm a queen, I never tilt my crown. I make you bow down every time I come around. I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen better 10 toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen better 10 toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen standing 10 toes down.
I rock crowds, break back when I step in the place. Talk slick, get checked. I don't play them games. You perform for the crowd. I command the room when I speak. It's a law. I make it go boom. Don't talk, I attack every line I spit. Leave them stuck in the head every chance I get. Ain't built for the pressure. You fold, you crack. I apply that force and watch them all fall back. Every verse like a play. I don't miss when I swing. I'm a problem, no solution when I enter the ring. I'm the standard on the bar, no containing me. Try to knock me off my throne, no, you won't.
Fire!
No bite, I'm not that tight. No clones, just real, I'm the prototype. Don't you know I'm the queen, never tilt my crown. I make you bow down every time I come around. I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen standing 10 toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen standing 10 toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen standing 10 toes down.
I'm the queen, can't nobody take my crown.
The queen standing 10 toes down.
Fire! Black dement, good sound and common sense. This is the boot Ghana. Yes, that's Queen, dedicated to all of the powerful woman them. The woman them where I hold it for the man them and hold it for them children and hold it for them generation. This is Queen by Octavia Landix. All right. So let me remind you, this show is proudly sponsored by Rasta Breadman Company, Tough Buzz Entertainment, Yardi Sessions, Team 4K Shooters, Natiyad Bashment, Forever Booming. And also, I'd like to big up my brother Curve, Top Bass Promotion, all the way from New York. Now, you've heard the songs. Let me tell you about this special person. All right, Octavia Landix, Grammy-nominated recording engineer, music producer, and entrepreneur. Yes, so if you don't know, Grammy-nominated recording engineer, music producer, entrepreneur, and founder of Love for Music Productions, Octavia Landix, has spent more than 2 decades helping shape the sound, the sound and now the future of music industry from her hometown, South Central Los Angeles, to the global stage, to the global stage where you say international stage. She did that too. You understand? All right. So she has built a career defined by technical excellence, creative innovation, and purpose. With more than 20 years of experience, Octavia has earned a reputation for blending world-class technical expertise with bold creative vision. She has collaborated with some of the music and entertainment industry's most respected artists, brands, and companies, including Kali Uchis, Kendrick Lamar, Inayah, I hope I've mentioned it well. Please don't come for me. Inayah, Rodney, Jerkins, Hallmark Media, Fox Soul, Empire, and Universal Pictures. But her impact extends far beyond hit records. As artificial intelligence reshapes the music business, Octavia is leading conversations about how creators can embrace emerging technology without sacrificing artistry, ownership, or authenticity. She believes AI should empower artists, not replace them, and has become a respected voice on the future of creativity, entrepreneurship, and the evolving music industry. She is dedicated to helping artists build sustainable careers and understand the business behind the music, unlock opportunities through production, sync licensing, branding, ownership, and innovation. Her insights are especially relevant within today's growing global creative economy, where artists and entrepreneurs are seeking new ways to reach international audience while protecting the value of their work. Whether she is producing chat-ready records, mentoring next generation of creators, or exploring how artificial intelligence is transforming music, Octavia Landix is helping shape what comes next and showing artists how to own their future in an industry changing faster than ever. So, don't know. That is who we have right here.
Impressive.
So let me see. Can we change the box so that we bring her in a big box and then yeah, I think yes, the queen in the building. Big up yourself, superwoman, genius. Welcome.
Welcome in.
Thank you for that introduction. That was awesome.
That was dope. That
We
was
give
fire.
thanks. We give thanks. I try, you know. And before we start, I would like to say I'd like to apologize first because we got the time mixed up. Yes, we got the time. We certainly got the time mixed up. Instead of 7, I wrote on the flyer 6, which I didn't realize until I saw my WhatsApp. So I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. You know, yeah. And thank you so much for honoring our time. God bless you so much. I know you're a very busy person, and this opportunity that you've given us is one of a kind because I am ready. Like, I have my pen and paper ready.
Me too.
To jot down some things that, you know, and this is going to be like a master class. And I know the professor, the professor, the genius professor is right there. So God bless you so much. And also big up all the powerful women in the chat supporting the live. Big up Curve from New York, long lasting in the UK, Oshkosh, North Carolina, Sunshine, St. Louis, Missouri, and everybody in the chat same way, please. Apart from Octavia, please, anybody that feels to share for their artists, all these women have artists. So anybody who feels to share for their artists to join in, they are all, you know, invited so that we learn tonight. So thank you so much, Octavia.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and share. I really genuinely do love sharing like what I know and what I've learned, and I'm a giver really at heart. So this is nothing for me. I love this.
My apologies, but it's a ritual. My son says hello. I'm sorry.
Hi.
Yes, I, Superman. Blessings.
Sorry. My he's 10 and he makes beats and builds games and
Yes, he's a genius. Very soon he'll be taking your steps soon, Octavia. Yes, I.
Yeah, so he always has to say hello.
Okay.
Yes, we give thanks.
Thank you.
We give thanks. Are you ready for you know this session? Should we get tonight?
Yeah, I'm ready. I just wanted to you know, again, just thank you for having me on, and you know, to all of the artists whose music I played, you know, big up to all of them. I did want to make a correction though, that you said that that the Queen was the song that the rapper's not me. The rapper's actually her name is Taylor. Now I'm featured on there. Taylor's in the chat, but Taylor is my homegirl, and she's a rapper on this. I just wanted to make that clear.
Wow, big up Taylor. You don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I hear. So the radio voice in it is you.
That's me.
Now I understand.
Yeah.
Big up yourself. Thank you so much. All right. So let's start the the session. All right. So my first question, your journey. All right. You have spent more than 20 years working behind the scenes in an industry where engineers often don't receive the same public recognition as artists. Looking back, what experiences shape your philosophy as both an engineer and a producer?
Oh man, you know, I started out just really hungry. Like, you know, I started understanding like engineering at the age of like 15 or 16, you know. I just was in a recording studio Like I said, I'm out of South Central. And when I found out I just loved music, I was like, I gotta be where I want to be at. Like, I want to be in those places and spaces. So being in South Central, like, there's no studios in the hood. So I had to figure out where could I go to, explore and get better, basically. And so there was a youth center that had a music program, and they had a recording studio there. And so I would just stick to being with people who were always better than me, like people who were in the industry doing what I saw myself wanting to do. And so you are correct. Engineers are overlooked, but it has gotten better over time. I will say that it has gotten better over time.
Okay.
So something that I had to understand, because I would see how engineers would get looked over. It's like we're a part of the same team as we're just as important as the artist. We're just as important as the producer. Like, I tell people all the time, don't get your engineers, don't piss your engineers off. Don't do that. There is a culture where, like, there's tiers of how certain engineers are respected, right? And it's like your recording engineer is like at the bottom. Like your recording engineer is looked at like people just kind of tell you what to do and you just do it. And I've had to like bump heads against people who thought they could just talk to me. I just had an experience like that recently. I won't say who the artist is.
Wow.
Big, very big R&B artist. This happened last week. But I had to, they were kind of just wanting me to just do whatever they said. And I'm just like, no, you don't understand. I'm a veteran. I'm not a newbie. I've been doing this for a very long time. And so and I'm like, I can't just, I have to think about my morals. I have to think about, my reputation. And, I love your music, but I still can't, I just can't do that. It was like, just do this. And it's really kind of, sometimes they like to boss you around. Some artists can be that way. And I'm just like, no, like, I know you are who you are, but I really, and it could be because I'm from LA, maybe, Hollywood is up the street for me. I've seen celebrities all the time. So I don't get like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Starstruck.
Thank you, that word. I don't get starstruck. Like, I just don't. Very rarely do I do, and I know I'm a professional. So sometimes, experiences like that have helped me to understand, okay, what do I need to do to make sure that I stand out as an engineer? One thing is, engineering, it really is a customer service position. If you really look at it, it's a customer service position. You're offering someone a service at the end of the day. And people remember how you make them feel.
That's right.
Period. And with artists, they're giving their heart, they pouring out everything, So if you give good service, you'll most likely, get called back. The next thing I learned early on that shaped my experiences, I had to make sure I kept track of my credits. Even to this day, like if I'm working with even someone who's independent, when I have my contracts in place, that's important too, having contracts in place. Even if I'm not working with like an A-list artist, someone who's independent, I have it's something small. It's not like a 10-page overwhelming, contract. It's nothing like that. It's like a 1-pager. And we're just agreeing to what we agreed to verbally on paper. Right. And so even in that situation, I make it known I'm going to get credited for anything that you put out. I'm going to be credited for that, because that's how I keep my resume intact, to show that I'm still working. Because when people release their music on, everything is digital now, right? On the DSPs, when you Google my name, you're going to see me. You're going to see my name there. If it's not there, I'm like, hey, need to go back to your metadata and you need to put my name in there. That's how you stay. That's another way that you stay employed. So you have to make sure that you're being properly credited. Don't be out here just doing stuff and not getting credit for it. And it's just a credit. What is just to type someone's name in a box? That only take 10 seconds to do. So I really came to understand, like, for me to stand out as a professional and not like just doing music as a hobby, I'm like, I have to be searchable. So I have to make sure that I'm getting credited for the work that I do. Sometimes I've had instances where, people, they'll just do a Google search and they're like, I'm looking for a female engineer. And I come up in the Google search because I have credits out there. I'm making sure that whoever I'm working with, you're crediting me. Because, it is like, I am more like I'm a free agent, right? So I do everything like independently, like word of mouth or through my network, through my connections that I have. I'm getting referred, through people. So and I like that, I like being my own boss, So I'm like, it's a little bit more paperwork that I have to do, but early on I was like, okay, I got to make sure that I'm being credited, and then you just want to make sure that you cover yourself too, through that way, because if someone does you wrong and you have no paper trail, someone could owe you money, someone could, try and put dirt on your name or say no, I didn't agree to that, and you're like, no, yes you did, here's the agreement right here, So and I just, like, I had some, I will not mention who the artist is, but I had something like that happen last week with a really big artist, and their management was saying all of this. Well, this happened, and I'm like, it's not worth going the extra distance over it, but I have it all in writing. I have it in text message form. My management said it. It's an email form, and it's in the invoice. All of the things that we're going to do. So you can't come back and be talking all this hoorah. I'm like, I have everything in writing. Wow. And when you come across bigger artists like that, you do have to safeguard yourself like that too, because they have lawyers and they have all, they have the, this wild, large amount of money and protection, right? Yeah. So so early on, like, and the thing is, I have so many experiences, so I'm trying not to, I have so many stories, but I think that really, really important. As engineers, same thing, even as a producer, same thing,
Okay. That's very, very interesting. Okay. So coming from South Central LA, what obstacles did you face entering the music industry, and how did you, how did those experiences influence the professional you are today?
Oh man. So in my life where I am now, I can look back at like how I got started in music, right? Like what gravitated me toward music. It really was trauma, trauma that was happening, that I didn't realize then. I was turning to music to get away from like traumatic experiences that was going on within my family dynamic at that time.
I can completely agree with that. I say the same thing with my life, so I just wanted to second that.
Yeah. I was a teenager when I started turning to music, and there was so much going on that I was just trying to block out what was going on. I can look back now and understand that's what I was doing then, but I didn't at the time, right? And so then and being from South Central, it's like my experiences, I'm like kind of like, I grew up like street adjacent. Like I wasn't like in the streets, but I'm very street smart because of the family dynamic that I'm a part of, right? So because of what I saw, or like what was just in my family dynamic, you know, like there's like you know, extinction of my family, like, you know, like there's drug abuse, alcohol abuse, prostitution, you know, and again, I'm not saying like to be like a sob story or nothing like that, but you know, when you grow up around these things, you know, gang affiliation and things like that, I was like, you know, I don't want to succumb to like being a part of this part of my environment. You know what I mean? That's just kind of where I was. But even where I was still like where my family and I lived. We were still in like relatively great and safe places, but everything around me, like this was what was around me, you know? And so when I turned to my love for music, i.e. that's my company, it's really near and dear in my heart, love for music, because I really do love music. I just was early on was like, you know, I think I want to really pursue this. Like I really enjoy it. I want to see what happens and how it shapes, you know, like just going on throughout life, you know. So I took a piano class. Then eventually, like so I went to a studio. I started getting into beat making, and I was surrounding myself around professionals who were in the industry. Like a lot of the people who I started under who were teaching me, like they were working at record labels with Jill Scott, and like they played all over the world. They worked with like Death Row Records, they were Tupac, DJ Quick, you know, so I just put myself around professionals who they saw how hungry I was, and I was very serious, and they were like, she's pretty good. Like, you know, wow. And you know, you have some people who, you know, a few kicked me to the curb because, you know, I may have been pestering. To me, it seemed like I felt like I was pestering them. That's how they made me feel. And so some people were like, oh, okay, like, you know, you and everybody else want a shot, you know, type of situation. So when I was around people who did see the value in me and poured into me, and, you know, really enjoyed doing that, I really started to hearing the feedback of what they would say. I would always be open to criticism. And hearing their feedback and taking their tips, I would really take it to heart. And I just kept going and just kept going. I was like, I want to do this forever. I want to do this for as long as I can, you know, and I want to, you know, profit off of it. I want to be able to live off of this. And, you know, with everything, there's trials, you know, you got to figure out, you know, how to get there, or, you know, who's the next relationship that's going to refer you to something else, you know? So, I mean, my experience in growing up in South Central definitely did motivate me, like to be like, okay, I gotta like music can maybe be the way for me to get out of the hood. And in part, I did by going to school out of state to study music. So one of the top colleges in the world, you know, Berklee College of Music, I was accepted there. That school is Quincy Jones graduated from that school.
Wow.
You know, so one of the reasons why I wanted to go there was because Quincy Jones was someone that I was studying as a producer at the time. Like I just love Quincy Jones, right? And plus I'm a musician. So I was like, well, I like to aim high. I've always been an overachiever. I'm a really big overachiever.
Nice.
So, let me just apply it.
Same way.
Overachiever, perfectionist, you know, all those things. And, you know, I got accepted. You know, now it was a very expensive school. So I wasn't able to do the whole 4 years there. But I just love, it was everything that I thought it would be. And you know, I went there. I was gone for like pretty much almost a year. So music did technically, it did like, okay, I got to get out. So let me go to Boston. I went to Boston. And you know, went there and eventually came back home. And when I came back home, I was really sad and depressed because I was like, I'm back here. I'm back in the hood, you know, like I you know, around all this craziness, you know, for what was going on at that time. And music has always kind of been I feel like a vessel for me to be like, okay, how do I get out of where I am, you know, out of the neighborhood that I'm in, you know, type of situation. So music, I've always looked at it like, of course, it helped me and loved me in a very special place when I turned to it, you know, to create and, you know, let things out that I was going through. And I mean, yeah, like growing up in South Central, and I mean, don't get me wrong, okay, because I know that there's all these stories about South Central is also great. Like there's things that I love about my neighborhood, you know, just I wouldn't trade that for anything. You know what I mean? Like you know, I love South Central. You know what I mean? But I mean, there are, you know, a lot of, just from the history in LA and all of that, there are things that can also be very heartbreaking, but that can be in any part of the world.
Anywhere you go, yeah.
Any part of the world, you know. I know South Central, you know, we have a reputation, you know, but South Central is still dope. Like I'll tell everybody all day, like, you know, and I say South Central specifically because I've been like all over South Central. You know, like I grew up in Compton. Then I lived in, you know, Watts for 14 years. Then I moved to Inglewood. Then from Inglewood, I moved back to Compton. You know, so all of the South Central spots, I've been in every part of South Central LA.
Nice.
Can I
Was there a defining? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Make sure you always own your story. You are a beautiful, wonderful, successful woman, and I have my own story, and telling the story is what helps. It gives, it inspires, in my opinion, because I have a nonprofit on top of the business, inspires the youth that they can make it out. Yeah. So your story is beautiful. And I know you said at one point, I'm not trying to give a sob story. It's never a sob story. It is a beautiful story that can inspire somebody. So make sure that you say it the right way, because that's what built you. I understand it. I resonate. Not, you know, it's a big difference, but as well, you know, that was beautiful. Everything you said and who you are and what you've accomplished is so inspirational to little girls who look up to you. So shout out to you for that. And just, it's not a sob story. It's a journey, and it's a blessing, and it's something that's inspirational to the little girls below you. So shout out to you for that. I just wanted to thank you.
That is it.
I can do that right there in that moment and make sure I gave you those flowers.
All right.
That is it.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. So was there a defining moment? Thank you, Ashkash. Was there a defining moment in your career when you realized you were no longer simply working in music, but actually helping shape it?
Ooh, that's a great question. I got to think about that. When did I realize I was helping shape it?
Yes.
I think it was after I had got my opportunity to record for Kendrick Lamar.
Wow.
Because when I had got the call from my friend to work with Dawg Entertainment, which is, you know, who Kendrick is signed with, right?
Yeah.
I had just got done with my gig at Capitol Records. Like it had ended. and that was with Rodney Jerkins. And so when I was with Rodney, I wasn't like touching the records, everything per se that he was working on. Like he had his first engineer, he had his second engineer, and then it was me. So like they were like really, you know, touching the records, you know, working with the artist one-on-one. So I was really kind of like there, a fly on the wall, still really observing. So when that ended and I got the opportunity, you know, with Kendrick, I was literally like, I was doing Lyft and Uber because I'm like, I don't have any, you know, any source of income right now. So when my friend gave me the opportunity, I would be Ubering by day and then go in the studio and be there all night, get like maybe a few hours of sleep, and then get up and go back out and Uber again, you know, or things like that. Like I was like really few hours of sleep, and it was like a 2-week lockout for Kendrick. And so when I was done doing that, my friend, he owned 3 commercial studios, 3 commercial buildings, and he was like, I'm about to call you for everything. He was like, the way you just did those sessions, he was like, it was just amazing. And then on top of that, like real talk, female recording engineers were very few in terms in terms of being on that type of level. Like, you know, where you're doing something like for like record labels, like, you know what I mean? That's A-list, A-list clientele, or A-list clientele, right? So, and even in all my years, I still don't come across a lot of women. There's a few out there, but they're like really, really like maybe in the 1%, like they're in the top 1%. But you know, and so when he saw how I handled, he said, I'm about to call you for everything. And from there, I was super booked and busy. I was busy all the time. I was working with so many songwriters who had publishing deals with like Warner Chappell Music Group, and they were also contracted to Sony. Like they were in there writing records for these labels, big artists, you know. And so I'm the engineer there, recording the songs, recording the demos. Even sometimes, you know, they would even send the artist in sometimes, and I'll be like, oh snap, like that so and so, you know, like, oh, I didn't expect that, you know, for them to walk in, you know. And so right then and there, I'm like, I'm like helping shape the sounds of like what's coming out, you know. Like it's not like I'm just, you know, kind of trying to figure it out, you know. I'm like, I am here, I'm getting calls, I'm getting booked. And then I'm able to start to set my terms for what I want to take the job. It's not just here, this is it, this is what it is, this is what it pays, take it or leave it. I started being in a position where I could now start to negotiate because of the value that I had. Right? Wonderful. It's like you just did this with you know, for Kendrick Lamar. You have my value shot up.
Nice.
So now I'm like, okay, I can't just, and in every instance, I didn't even realize it all the time how much my value shot up. I just didn't. So sometimes it took a while for my mental to catch up to like, no, like you just did this. Your value is really, really high right now. But sometimes I will still operate from a lower level. And I didn't, but it started to catch up when I started to see where people were like, hey, like this session, you know, this is how much an hour it is. And I was like, how much? You know, I was like, you know, it's like I went from like doing, you know, 20 an hour sessions to being like, hey, like I could pay you 65 an hour. I could pay you 75. And I'm like, how much? You know? So Wonderful. Then I'm like, wow, my value has changed. People see my value now. And I'm like, well, I need to get with the program because what am I doing? Like, I can't be operating from that same place, you know? So yeah, I would say right after doing Kendrick. You would probably think when I was doing it, but I was still trying. I was kind of like in survival mode. I was like, okay, well, I got to go out in Uber now, and I got to go pick up people or do Lyft or whatever. And then it's like, okay, now let me come back. But I realized how big the opportunity was. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'll get an hour of sleep, and I would be in the studio all night with the writers who came in and the producers who came in, and and then I'll be like, okay, let me just get a nap, and then I'll get back up, and I was in my 20s, so I had a lot more endurance back then.
I know that's right. I
don't have that type of, as you get older, you be like, I can't really do all that now. You get,
Yes,
you have all that, all that zeal, and you're just hungry, and you're like, I'll just, so yeah, I would say it was around that time I started to realize I was starting to help shape what was happening in the music industry.
Wonderful. That is awesome. Now that leads me to this question: what does receiving a Grammy nomination mean from the perspective of an engineer rather than an artist?
Well, I think it's kind of, let me see. When an artist gets it, they start to get like more, a lot more opportunities come to them, I think.
Yeah.
Artists, right? Like they just, I don't know, like they'll start to get like movie deals, or it's like they'll branch out of music, and it'd be a lot more easier for them, when they do that as artists.
Yeah.
In terms of like as an engineer, it still is work, but at the same time, you don't want to come off like a snob, right?
Yeah.
You want to be like, well, I'm a Grammy nominated engineer. Like, you need to respect me, because some people, they don't care about that, especially when you're around your peers who all have some type of recognition or some type of something. It's like, so for me, I just like, okay, let me just make sure that I put it like in my resume, I put it on my on my profile, so because now we're in the age of social media where people, they're looking you up. So when they see that, they're like, okay, I have to approach her differently,
Right.
Like, again, I will not name who the artist is, but this artist, I'm like, like I think you think maybe I'm Joe Schmo because maybe I'm not in your network, but I'm at the same level that you are. But you're not treating me that way, maybe because you don't know me or you don't know my accolades. But I'm not about to sit here and prove myself to you. Like, what am I gonna do that for? I'm like, okay, well, I believe that people are going to treat you how they see you. People will treat you how they see you. And
That's
so in this
true.
moment, I'm like, okay, so you see that I have no value. Or you look at me as I'm beneath you. I'm okay. Well, I'm not going to fight for your acceptance or your approval, or I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are.
Straight. That is it.
And I know a lot of people. I'm not kissing nobody's butt, and because a lot of people in the industry, they like their butt kissed, and I'm just like, I'm not a butt kisser. I'm not a brown noser.
Right.
I'm just
straight.
A lot of people like their ego stroked. And I'm like, I think there's room for like giving compliments, or I'm even careful with like flattery and stuff like that. Cause I'm sorry, my mind crossed. I'm thinking about this person. Let me back up.
Remain
It's
humble.
all right.
Humble is
It's
the
all
right
right.
word.
I got taken out. I'm still a little sore about it because it happened recently. But yeah. So for engineers, It's still a little tough, you know, but when you have your circle of people who are like your core people in the industry who value you, then you'll still go far, right? Because they value you and they're still working in the industry.
Right.
Right. So yeah, that's what I would say. For artists, definitely get a lot more shine, I think, than engineers.
Okay. That's well understood. Yeah, that's well understood. All right, let's get into recording and production. Many upcoming artists believe great equipment automatically creates great music. From your experience, what matters more? Expensive gear, engineering knowledge, or artistic vision?
Vision.
Wow.
Vision. I have recorded great songs on just a mic and a cheap preamp and just a computer. And then I've also been in the studio. I've been in some of the top studios in LA with people who just sucked. Like, I don't know the other way to say it. Like, people who they feel like, because especially now we're in a time with this whole follower thing. People think because they got followers and they got a million some people following them that they hot. I got so many stories, but I had a situation recently.
I can only imagine.
Someone recently who they have like 1 million some followers. And you know, there are certain people in the industry, they play to that game. You know, they'll stroke people's ego or because they have money. And the person has a big head. And oh, I'm in this big studio. And then they call me in to record them. And I'm just sitting in my chair like, this person sucks. Like, they suck. I mean, I have to really do studio magic. Like, I've got to pull it out of you. I've got to sit here and vocal produce you. And that's another thing. Recording engineers, we're natural vocal producers. Yeah. Because we just record and record and record and record. We record the best and the worst, right? So I'm sitting up here vocal producing you to get the take. You know, they're like, that's a take. And I'm like, that's not the take. Listen back. I'm like, we don't have to. Let's just keep going. Like, trust me. Like, just trust me. Like, that's not the take. Because I have gold ears.
Yeah.
I have super duper great ears, right? I've heard some of the best music before it hit the street. Yeah, and sometimes it'll never come out. And I'm like, oh my God, why isn't that song out? You know, I've been in sessions where I've like had to hold back tears listening to people sing, because I was like, oh my God, like this is just, I'm like, this is why I love doing what I do, because this is just so awesome. It just hits you in a different place. I've been in all those spaces. So when I'm around someone who think they got it, and I'm like, you haven't even done 10,000. I can tell you haven't done 10,000 hours, or I can tell that you're lazy. You know, you think that because you're in this big place and space that it's going to make you sound good, and that's just not true. Because if anything, when you're in those big studios, it's going to expose you more because of how more expensive the equipment is. You're going to get exposed that you're not good. Because when you're on them big speakers, you're going to hear everything. You're going to hear every lack of emotion. You're going to hear that you gave up. You know, when you were saying this word or when you were singing this note, you're going to hear that you didn't try. You're going to hear it. And we're going to be like, I'm like, no. So I would literally be like, no, that's not good. Do it again, or do it again, do it again, do it this way, do it that way. And they be like, man, how many times I got to do? I'm like, till it's right. But this is what you signed up for, because there's a way to make records. There's a formula to making great songs. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Sorry, that's my doggy. My dog is
It's all right.
moving around.
Blessings.
So there's a way you have to do it. So some people, if they're just confident in themselves, or they know who they are as an artist, or even as a songwriter, right? Like if you know that and you're confident about yourself, it doesn't matter what type of space you're in. It's going to translate whether you're on cheap equipment or whether you're on the best equipment. It's going to translate either way. And one of the ways you can test that, do the phone test. Test through your phone. I was literally I was on a live yesterday. I was just sitting listening, and someone was playing their music. I kid you not, I got so excited in sitting at my studio desk. I was like just jumping on the inside, because I was like, if it feels this great through the phone. Through the phone.
I say that all the time on live. When I judge I say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm getting excited through the phone, I can only imagine how it'll sound in my car, or how it'll sound like in a top studio facility. I will be losing my mind. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So do the phone test. Test it on your phone. If it's not cutting through your phone, or if it's not, you don't feel it in your phone, try again.
Nice.
So yeah, some people think when you get in a big place, you're going to sound great. If anything, you should be scared because it's going to tell the truth. It's really going to tell the truth, especially things translate differently than like if you're listening like in your home, or like like in your headphones. Things are just going to on your laptop.
Right.
So when you get into these big facilities, it's really going to cut through and show you if it's right or not.
That's true.
So yeah. So y'all artists out there, be humble about that, okay? Cause
exactly.
Yeah,
that is
it's
it.
just no.
That
You
is
just
it.
gotta. If you're dope, it's going to translate on anything. Period.
I could definitely reckon with that, because I'm also in that experience, and for me, from my perfectionist perspective, I listen to my mixes about 100 and I think about 300 times in my playlist before I give it a go, and that too is also it has a negative aspect, because you tend to sit on one song for quite a long time before moving on, and that also slows production or slows inspiration. But I feel it's a good thing, because I don't want to put out trash, you see? So, because I know I'm competing with people who can easily walk into top studios. So why would I limit myself and not do it well? Just do the thing as if it's not necessary. That means I don't even value what I'm doing. So I could definitely understand when you say the artistic vision. God bless you for that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're also in a time right now, I think, where because we're in such the digital age of, like with AI, like you can make music like that. I think people think that music is just easy.
Yeah.
It's just easy. And the school that I grew up from, or that I grew up in, like, I got it out the mud. Like I had mentorship. I interned. I moved artists' gear out of vans to their shows. Like I just for the experiences, and all those things, they shape you. Being in so many rooms, just listening to how people work, asking questions, just hearing stuff from the best of the best, and people think that all I gotta do is get behind a mic, say some words, get a beat off YouTube, and I have a hit song, or I have a big record. It's like, no, like there's work that goes into that. Even with AI, like, like I'm noticing with AI that there is going to be a group of people that's going to even stand out amongst other AI artists, because there's some AI artists where all they do is they take the lazy route. I'm just prompting, spit this out, boom, that's it. There's a young lady who I was talking to, and I respect her, because she was like telling me, it takes me 12 hours to make a song sometimes. I could respect that. Because she's putting time into even with her music through AI.
Yes.
12 hours. That's wow. And her stuff sounds awesome.
Agreed.
I just produced one of her songs. Right? And when I heard the song, I was like, that's AI? Like, I was in disbelief. Because I'm like, wow. It sounds so good. Another friend of mine, Will the songwriter, he's in the chat, right? His compositions, same thing. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my goodness. Like I don't feel intimidated, because I'm like, I know I could go and recreate that. That's the great thing. But that started from me learning how to play an instrument, learning how to mix, asking questions, being around mentors, making mistakes, it's just experience. It's years of experience, learning about top line and learning how to, I don't even sing, but I had to, at one point, like, I need to understand what artists, like, what does an artist go through when I'm asking them to do something? And I've been around great singers all my life, right? Yeah. So I'm like, well, let me get behind a mic and let me do what I hear in my head. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, people out here. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, what have I been doing? I've been not asking them to do the impossible. It's like,
for that. Much respect for that.
I'm like, I've been beating them up for years. Like saying, do this, do it that way, doing the, and it's just like, I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm exhausted. So even stretching myself in that capacity has made me way better as an engineer and as a producer, right? So
nice.
It takes time. Like, it's a lot of work to make songs that are memorable, songs that matter, and songs that will like influence the culture of music. I personally think that's one of the reasons why music is kind of flat right now.
Exactly.
I think music is flat. Like, it's kind of boring, just because of my experience and my extension of just producing, like this loop culture and that type of stuff is boring. Like, I'm like I know how to go out and get the best musicians and make a song sound great, right. and vocal produce the artists, and then go behind them in the post-production and mix it, and like there's just all these stages that I've experienced, and I think that's why music kind of sounds a little cheap right now.
That's true.
It's just it's the energy.
Agree.
That people put in. It's the heart and soul that people put into it that makes your timeless songs. That just the songs that we have by Stevie Wonder or Janet Jackson or Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis or Prince or it's Kendrick. It's just like there's a process. They're still going through that original process, which is why their music lasts so long.
Yep.
It's timeless music. But I can get on a whole soapbox. Because
I completely agree with you.
I get frustrated with
it's very relatable.
Like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, do the work. Like, put the time in, man. Like, because what you put out is what's out. and it
Right.
affects our industry. If you put out bad music, that's what's gonna be out there. And I'm tired of hearing bad music. I'm tired of people sending me mediocre bad music.
This bubble rap era has been atrocious.
I know. I hear so much music.
I feel like we're coming out of it, though. I feel like we're coming out of it.
No,
but
we've moved out of because of technology and what the competition. We've moved out of mumble.
Yeah,
seriously.
I hear a lot more lyrics, especially TikTok. You hear the lyricists coming back.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, it is. I think we are coming out of it.
Yeah,
I agree with you 1,000%. I think also because AI has hit the scene. Because this is something I didn't catch it right away, right? Because I was really on the fence about AI, right? I have my reservation about when the robots get here, but in terms of music, I'm a lot more hopeful because what I didn't grasp right away was that the people who's doing AI music, they're bringing back song structure.
Yep.
They're bringing back melodies. They're bringing back real instrumentation within the confines of AI. That is what the music scene has been missing. That has been the void, right? So now the AI artists, they're going, okay, well, no one's doing that. Everybody's doing trap, drill music. They're doing melodic R&B, but there's no bridges, there's no pre-choruses, there's no modulations. Everything is kind of just here, right? So the AI art have been, okay, you let me go and I'm gonna do my thing and I'm gonna bring back the A section, the B section, the C section, the bridge, then bring back all these changes. And now a lot of the artists who don't have they don't even know how to create a song like that. Now they're intimidated because now people like me, I can go back and create that song verbatim.
I also think that it's fair for songwriters to have if artists can use songwriters, why can't songwriters have the ability to structure their songs the way they hear it in their head? Just because they don't have the vocal talent, but I think AI is important because those are the ones that are structuring the songs right, because they're writing the song and they hear that structure in their head. They just can't physically sing it. So I think that it's acceptable for songwriters to be able, and that's exactly what you're saying, the structure, because they hear it and they know it and they're writing it, and you can't always explain that to somebody that you expect to sing the song the way that you hear it in your head. So I think that is fair.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Time check, we are 10 minutes into the hour 3. My name is Trap God. Welcome to Midnight Reggae Vibes. If you've just joined us, we are in tune with genius Grammy-nominated producer Octavia Landix, and she's dropping gems upon gems, Wallipa gems she had dropped, and I'm truly grateful. So let's get into this again. What are the 3 biggest mistakes independent artists make before sending music to a mixing and mastering engineer?
First thing is that their song is not properly structured. So for example, let's say I just had this happen recently. I have a mix I'm doing for a very talented young man artist. And he sent me his stems, but the way he sent me his stems, it would have put me in a position where I would have had to edit his the stems. So I had to tell him, I said, I need you to re-import these stems to me this way, because I'm not if I'm mixing your song, all I'm supposed to do is come and paint. I'm not supposed to come and edit your stems. I'm not supposed to be flying nothing. I'm not supposed to be bouncing nothing down or splitting nothing. I'm not supposed to be doing any of that. I'm not supposed to be, okay, can you move this here and move this piece here and fly this piece? No, that's what you're supposed to do. But that's what your recording engineer is supposed to do. But a lot of people are recording themselves now. So like because the proper channels of like recording, right? You'll have like your recording engineer, right? The recording engineer records the artist. When they record the artist, the recording engineer or the producer in tandem, sometimes maybe the producer and recording engineer, they work in tandem, like they work side by side, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to set up the session. They're going to have everything where it's supposed to be, stuff level where it's supposed to be, kind of like a good demo. It's not mixed, but it's a good demo to send to the mixing engineer, right? They're going to be with the producer. The producer going to say, turn this down, turn this up, pan this here, pan that there. Put this effect on here. Let's find another vocal part for this part. You know what? I don't like the way that snare coming in right here. Let's EQ that snare. Let's do some of that. It's real small stuff. It's a good strong demo. Then that recording engineer is going to send it to the mixing engineer. So all I got to do is just add my taste to it. That's all I'm doing is just I'm bringing it out. I'm making it full, making it nice and thick. Or I'll add ear candy to the mix. I'll do reverse reverbs, or I might do some drops in the song, or things like that. Maybe where necessary. Find out where to might do some underwater stuff or do add effects and things like that to take the mix to the next level. So what a lot of independent artists, one of the first things that I come across, I've had artists where I'll be like, look, you need to, I'll send a session back to them. I'll be like, you have to fix this, and this before I even start mixing. And they'll be like, what? I'm like, yeah, you have to have your session right. That also comes with properly labeling. Y'all label your tracks. I should not get your tracks and not know what's what.
We have to tell people that all the time, just doing interviews, girl.
Yes, that's true.
That will set you apart from someone like me when I get your stuff. Because if I get your stuff and it's not labeled, it just say audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll be like, so now I have to go and figure out this. I don't even know what. This is what sets you apart. This is what makes you organized.
Right.
This is how I got the gig with Kali Uchis, because she told me I was one of the most organized engineers she's ever worked with. That's why she hired me and kept me working with her for a year, because she's like you're just so organized, right? Organization is important. So artists, you have to make sure your stems are right, make sure your tracks are labeled. Have your song structure laid out the way it's supposed to be. Have it laid out how it's supposed to be. Don't hit your mixing engineer up unless y'all really tight or something. But still, that still can get old. Okay, this is how you do it professionally. Okay, you want to make sure that your song, you have your intro, your verse, your chorus. Or your pre-hook, your chorus, your verse, your pre-hook, chorus out. Have that stuff labeled. Put your markers and stuff in it. Like a mixing engineer will love you. I will continue to work with you because you know how to properly send me sessions. If you send me stuff where or music is cut off, or you be like, oh, you just need to extend the beat. I don't know your song. I'm just now getting your song. I don't know your record.
Right.
So sometimes it's assumed, just flash it. Like, no, because now you want me to produce your half done song. The song should be complete. It needs to be complete. Don't send me stuff where the music cuts off and just copy and paste it. No, now you want me to arrange your stuff. No, that's not what a mixing engineer does. That's what you're supposed to have a producer do, or either you do it, right?
Exactly.
So, that was probably more than 3 things.
We give thanks. Yeah, more knowledge, more intelligence.
Everything was valid.
Yeah, more knowledge, more intelligence.
Thank you for speaking to her, girl.
Yes. And with that said,
Mhm.
I would like to shout out one of the artists who I see as a father figure in the reggae dancehall music industry. His name is G Terra. He's in the chat. Me and him have worked for more than a decade, and I usually mix and master most of his songs. And when he sends his songs, they are all structured just as you pinpoint. So I'd like to shout out G Terra in the chat. Big up yourself, father. Enough respect. Yeah, man. All right.
Thank you, G Tara, for passing that information down, keeping that. That's important. Like I learned that from my mentor and one of my big brothers who taught me that early on. It was like, if you want to last as an engineer, you have to be able to be organized, like with filing, because I've had and y'all, I have so many. Sometimes I'll venture off into a story because I just have so many stories. But I remember one of my internships that I did. Right, all I wanted to do was just be behind the desk, and I wanted to record and blah blah blah, blah. And one of the owners of the internship, shout out to Collab Entertainment, they were like, yo, what you're gonna do, see this file cabinet over here, you're gonna organize these files. And I was like,
wow,
what? I don't want to do that. And they looked at me and they said, if you get it here, it's going to translate everywhere else.
Wow.
To this day, that has never left me. Or I went from organizing a file cabinet, knowing how to organize everything there, like office work, right?
Yes.
To now, when I am in recording session, like I have files from top A-list artists, and their management calls me like, oh my God, we lost the file. Please tell me you have it. And I'm like, yep, I have it.
Wow.
Because I know how important it is to back up your files. You got to back it up in more than one place. Have it in several different places. I'm always backing stuff up. Right. And sometimes things get lost, or do you have so many different versions of a song that you've recorded? Like, oh my gosh, like Octavia, what version? Where did we leave off? And I got to be able to pinpoint what we did. What version did we do? Because everyone's ideas are moving so fast, and everyone's flowing so quickly when they're creating. Right. So
exactly.
I have had to make sure I understand how to be organized, and because it can get exhausting. I'm not ashamed either. I have literally, sometimes if it's a really big client, I have a notepad right there at the desk. I have no problem getting a pad, and okay, they want this, and then okay, I tell you, we need this version, we need the instrumental, we need the acapella, we need the performance version, and then we need a version like this. I'm writing off, okay, they this, okay, you want it like that, when you want it by this time, okay, okay, all right, and I've done that, and I make sure they got everything, so that they're not coming back and they're like, oh, we missing this, because everything is so fast.
That's true.
So I'm like, those are things that have kept me kept me hired. So I'm saying that back to the mixing, right? What artists need to do. You got to understand, you have to be organized. Summing all of that up. Be organized before you send your files to your mixing engineer, whoever that person is. They'll appreciate you for that. Don't treat your engineer just like, okay, well, they'll just fix it. Especially if they're busy, they're not going to give you the time.
Right.
And you could be the last one that they pick, especially you gave a bunch of gems there, but artists need to realize that when as an engineer grows, like you could be the last one that they gonna choose, because you're a headache. You're a headache. It's annoying. You expected me to do more work than what you paid me for, so you spoke nothing but gems right then to artists.
That's what you that's true. As that's true, but Trap Gad also said you're wasting my time.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
If I have 4 mixes, I got to get out that week, and you send me something and it's all over the place, not complete. I'm like, yo, I don't have time for that. I can't sit and fix your.
You could be the last. They could be the last one that you choose to finish, and then you an artist sit here wondering why your song ain't back and why you ain't got nothing to put out because you lazy, you sloppy.
Yeah, so that's important.
I'm sorry.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
That is it. We give thanks.
Yeah.
All right. So you've already answered my next question. Now let me move on to another question. Can you explain why vocal recording technique is often more important than expensive plugins? Now we're getting a little bit technical. People who don't understand, plugins are like they are like tools that producers or mixing engineers use to upgrade the sound. So that's my understanding of a plugin. But to the question, she already understands the plugin. So for people who are listening who don't really know, plugins are tools, that are around, analog or digital, that producers use to, upgrade the sound. So my question is, can you explain why vocal technique is more important than expensive, plugins?
Oh, this is an awesome question. I love Trav Gad. You always ask the best questions. I'm just put that out.
Give thanks.
Best
Respect.
He does. He really does.
I try,
These are such important questions and qualities to have to know as an artist.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you why vocal performance is why it's more important, because sometimes people hold on. Okay, let me because it's kind of going to be a technical answer. We're in the time now where you can just hit Command Z, right? You can undo, right? Yeah. Or you can go back and re-record. But earlier on, it just wasn't that simple, right?
That's true.
You had to really master performance because you had the tape deck. So with the tape deck, if you couldn't waste tape, and time was money in the studio, right? So I learned from people who were like that. But the vocal performance it has to be right. It has to be undeniable before you start adding plugins on it. Because plugins are not going to fix plugins can't fix a bad performance.
Right.
It just can't. A lot of people hide behind plugins now. And they don't understand, like, you can have all these expensive plugins on it, but if the song if it doesn't feel good, it doesn't matter what you put on it. If you didn't perform it great, when you put the plugins on afterwards, your song's going to shoot through the roof. So you have to get the vocal performance right. Now, if you're in a professional facility, there is no need to have 10,000 plugins while you're recording.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're in a professional facility where the plugins that's in your DAW, it's in the studio in analog form. So use the analog that's there. It's going to make your voice sound warm, and like there's nothing better than analog. If you have it analog, use the analog. Don't settle for the digital one when you have the analog right there. But you got to have engineers who know how to use it. Do they understand what the analog do? Do they know how it sound? Do they know its purpose? Do they know how to turn it on correctly? Because if do you know what the knobs are? Do you know what ratio is? Do you know what threshold is? Do you know what 48 volts is? Do you know all these things with the actual piece of gear? and what it's supposed to do. I've been in sessions. Again, this is kind of becoming a lost art form. But before a vocalist would get in the studio, they would test out like 4 different mics.
Right.
They would test out different mics to see what mic the producer would be like, I want to order this mic, I want to bring this mic out of your mic closet. And before we even start recording the song, I want to test the vocalist or the artist on these mics to see which mic is going to be best for how their voice sounds. And then we're going to record the whole record on this mic. When we come to this studio, this is the mic that got to be available. If this mic isn't available, then we're not booking the session, because this is what the artist sounds best on, right? So that's important, just starting at that stage with the mic. Just what mic are you using? That is going to help push how the song, how your voice is going to sound sonically before you even touch it with any plugins, right? So if you have like a LA2A in a studio that you're going in, use the LA2A. Don't put the LA2A plugin on your vocal chain. Use the one in the studio. It's going to sound 1,000 times better because it's analog. It has a tube in it. It's going to make you sound nice and warm and set, or whatever you use. You know, if there's a certain reverb, and we have to be careful with reverb and stuff like that if you're recording, because then it'll be printed on there if you're not, depending on how you route it. But if you have those things, use those things in the studio, right? I have gotten sessions, and just because I didn't want to deal with the headache of going back with the artist or arguing with the artist, I'll get sessions where there's like so many plugins, but they'll record in the session with all the plugins on. And when I bypass those plugins, because I gotta get to the natural sound. Like, how do they sound naturally? That's what I need to know, because I hear stuff in the session that they're not going to hear. I'm gonna hear a whole bunch of phase. I'm gonna hear stuff masking each other, and I'm like, I got to get all that out, because that's not going to sound good when it goes to radio or if it goes to the DSPs. So I have to fix all that stuff, right? But if they had a proper recording engineer, I wouldn't even get a session like that. So I'll be bypassing all these plugins, and then I'll hear how terrible the vocal was recorded. With all these plugins on it, it might sound all smooth, but to me, it really sounds thin. They'll thin out their vocals. They're super thin. And I'm just like, where's all the body of your vocals? It's just thin. There's no richness in your vocals, right?
Right.
And so, and I'll tell the artist, I'm like, yo, I would advise you go back and re-record your vocals and take all this stuff off. Just re-record without all of that. And some artists, they feel naked without. They feel like they can't even perform without all of it on.
Some people actually even put auto-tune on the vocal before even recording to make them sound nice whilst they are recording. It doesn't. I don't know why.
Some people do that. And some people don't, and it's okay if some people do it. As long as it's like, I guess it depends on the lane that you're going in. Like,
well,
maybe
how do they perform when they tour though.
Well, in the live setting, you can add it in.
Yeah, you can add auto-tune now. Back in the day, it was a little bit complex, but now...
Back in the day, they used to just like, what is it? Lip sync?
Not necessarily.
I'm sorry.
I mean, they would perform over the recording, but now it's easier in live situations if you have the right type of sound person. You can have them come in and they can add the auto tune in on your mic while you're performing. Like, that's not hard now. Technology has evolved so much now, you know.
That's true.
But I've had a lot of sessions where I'll bypass all of that and I'll be like, oh my God, these vocals were recorded terrible. They sound terrible. They sound terrible, you know. And I'll give the artist an ultimatum. I'm like, look, I could mix it, but I would recommend doing it this way. I just wouldn't. I think you're cheating yourself. You're cheating the record. You're cheating the song.
Cheating your fans.
Yeah, and your fans, you know, because at the end of the day, to sum it up, what people are going to remember most important about the song is your voice.
That's true.
Period. Like, your voice, if you're trying to be an artist, your voice is what's going to separate you from everybody else. You know, like when you think about like your Whitney Houston, don't nobody else sound like her, you know? Or you think about Snoop Dogg, don't nobody sound like Snoop Dogg. DMX, who sounds like DMX? Your voice is what people are going to remember. As soon as the record starts, without me seeing your face, just hearing the song, I'm gonna go, oh, that's voice. The voice is most important than anything. So you gotta treat it as such. It has to get the best treatment. It just has to. The voice has to stand out above everything else, because that's what people are going to remember.
Wow, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had some small technical difficulties. Yes, please.
I see. So I was listening to everything you were saying. You know, Trap and I have been in the studio producing for some time. And a lot of times he'll tell the artist, just don't put anything on your vocals. Just send me, you know, the raw vocal, and then, you know, we'll work from here. But what I've been noticing lately with the auto-tune, it's just like too much auto-tune. On a lot of, you know, you can't even hear their voice. It's just like, it's like distorted. So is this like something that is it okay, like when you do the AI, like Suno, right? When you go on there and you do the song on Suno with the AI, and you're not an experienced artist, so how does the AI technology work? Does the artist like put in their own plugins, or do they, you know,
Usually
are
they
they
just put their
supposed to be
lyrics in and then
mixing and mastering their own music? Cause I see, you know, they have like the little ass where they get on there and they just speak stuff into the phone, and then Suno makes a whole song for them. But then where does the mixing and the mastering and the vocal part come in when you start talking about the AI technology?
Well, with Suno specifically, because Suno is like the most popular one, right? Suno technically, they do and they're becoming more advanced, like, as you know, as time is going on, they are getting more advanced. So they do push out like a mix and a master for you that is doable for, like, you know, the DSPs.
Mm-hmm.
But the mixes that I've heard in Suno, I mean, I could make the mixes sound way better, but it's only because, like, the way Suno is,
I feel it's how much information you give it to. Is what you give in is what you get out. Like, if you give more detailed specifics of what you want it to be, and you don't sing from what I know, you don't actually sing the lyric. You just give them the type lyrics, correct?
Well, no, yeah, but the question is specifically about mixing and mastering.
Yeah, the more detail you give it about what you want the output to be, the better that they can accomplish it. But I can assure, I mean, I could believe that you could do better than what they could do. But it's the amount of detail that you give in is the product that you get out.
I think so.
That's my experience and what I know from a few people that do it.
Okay, I think so, but every mix that I've heard, like, they sound very identical. All of them.
Yes,
a lot
they
of them
do.
don't know exactly.
It
like
sounds generic, right?
Yeah.
You can almost listen to it and tell that it's been produced by, AI. So if I do a song, because I'm a lyricist myself and a poet. So if I go on there and I do a song Suno, can I take those actual stems and send them to a producer to have them mixed and mastered? Or will they only do it inside the app?
No, I think that if you have a certain subscription
Yeah.
to them,
Right.
then they'll send you
Mhm.
stems that sound much cleaner and better.
That's
You
true.
can-
That's
yeah,
true.
you can send it to a producer or a mixing engineer to make them.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
And now to top it off, they've upgraded that package where when you actually want the stems, first the technology used to split the stems, and there were certain frequencies from other stems that will be slightly stuck in, like, let's just say you only want the drums, you might be hearing some clicks of the guitar or some frequencies of the guitar in the drums. But now they've upgraded the technology where if you create the song or if you prompt the total song and you want to split the stems, what the AI does it regenerates each stem individually. So the drum is individually generated separately from the guitar in the same pattern where the frequencies don't mix. So you can take all those stems now and have it mixed and mastered by another professional producer.
Okay.
Yes. So that's they just did that, I think, last 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay, so that's something new. Okay.
Yes.
But
yes.
I've heard of people that will take just the regular song and then run it through like other software and get that software to like mix it even as one platform, and it'll make a difference. Like,
I think
Yeah.
the one company they're called Lander.
Yeah, Landa. Yeah, Landa.
Lander is like a mixing platform that I think is AI.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got this little young kid out of Alabama. His AI songs are so amazing that like you can't even pick up on it. And he says he said that he makes it in Suno and then he runs it through mix something and then he runs it through something else and then he put and it just makes little edits that take that the harshness of it being like a computer generated off.
Yeah, that generic
And he does it
sound.
all himself. He just runs it through 2 other programs. I'll have to get the names. I'll send them to you. I'll tell you. I can't remember which ones they are, but I'll send you some of his songs too, because I mean, it's unbelievable.
I would love to hear it.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he raps too. He's a dope. He's really dope artist.
Okay. And you said he's out of where?
Alabama.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
Some of the best
All right,
AI
so
music I've heard. It's crazy.
that gets us into mixing, and I would like to know this, since we're talking about mixing. When you begin mixing a song, what are you listening for first? Like, what are you listening for first? What do you like, especially by inspiration? Like, if you start a song, let's just say you've got a song from your favorite artist and you want to start mixing per experience or from inspiration, what are you going to listen to first before, or what are you going to start mixing first?
Well, usually I'll always get like a reference demo for them to listen to. For them to listen to. For me to listen to. They send me a reference. It's a point of reference. So whoever their recording engineer, like when I was talking about the steps of how things are supposed to go, they've already set the vocals kind of where they want them to sit. They've leveled everything out. Everything is kind of sitting where they want. So then I just have to add the color to it and add my taste to it. So I'm always listening to, the first thing I want to make sure is that the vocals, I can understand every lyric. That's the first thing that I do. I'm listening because I'll have a vocal day. So I'll have a day. It could be probably an 8-hour day where I'm focusing only on vocals. And this is mixing. This is not recording. This is mixing. So I am literally listening to the lead. I'll listen to the lead by itself, with the music in, and make sure that I can hear every syllable, every word. If maybe a word is too low, then maybe I'll rise it up. I'll cut it and I'll rise it up. I'm gonna make sure that it's poking. I'm not doing any EQing or anything yet. I'm just making sure that I can hear everything. Then I'll check if there's background. Same thing with the backgrounds. If it's rap, it's easier. But if it's like R&B or pop and they're singing, that takes longer. So those will really be more of my 8-hour days. If it's rap, maybe like 4 hours I'm spending maybe on just the vocals. Okay, but R&B and 8 hours minimum. So I have to check and make sure all the notes were saying right. Sometimes there might be mistakes, right? But usually if it's a top tier artist, all that stuff is already going to be in place, because they're going to have the recording engineer is really going to make sure that that's there. But sometimes I might find little discrepancies, sometimes I may have to go in and I might have to use vocal treatment. So the vocal treatment that I would use would be like, let me see if I have to melodyne anything, so that'll be pitch correction, because you want to make sure that everything is in tune, pretty much. And it could be some slight melodyning. It may not be a whole lot, maybe minimal, because melodyne that's a long process as well. Also, another thing that I would use is called Vocal Line. That's another plugin that I'll use. Sometimes, maybe when the artist is tracking something, if you're doing your stacks and stuff, sometimes something may be a little off. It may, you want everything to be on together. So Vocal Line will help speed up the process where I can get all the vocals to come together. Whereas opposed, they might be off center a little bit, or one might be ahead of the other. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just lock them in. I might see that. I might have a track. Let me have maybe two tracks, and they're saying the same thing, but one is ahead. And then I'll have 8 stacks of this. So I'm like, I can't sit nudging every track. So I'm like, well, let me run through this program where it's going to line it up, so it all sounds in unison, right? So these are things that I'm doing when I'm mixing. You know what I mean? So there'll be a vocal day, and then the next day I'll kind of start blending and gelling everything, all the music together. 9 times out of 10, when I get into the instrumentation, the first thing I start is with my drums and my bass. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing I always start with. It's just my technique with how one of my big brothers taught me. Because when I started producing, he told me that my drums sounded weak. He was like, your drums, he was like, I don't want you to be one of the producers out here where your drums ain't knocking. He was like, that's what people are gonna feel.
That's right.
That's gonna be the focus. Yeah. That's what people are gonna feel. So I didn't know how to make my drums knock. So my brother taught me how to make my drums knock. And he came out of working with Teddy Riley. He was in Teddy Riley's camp. So he taught me how to make my drums knock. And the way he taught me is he was like, everything sounds good loud. So you can lose your peripheral of things when everything is loud. You don't mix loud. You mix soft. So he was like, what we would do is, if you want to make sure your snare is cracking through your mix, turn your speakers down and just listen and see if the snare is cutting through. Do you hear the crack of the snare? Do you hear the fatness of the snare? Soft. So then when you turn your speakers up, he was like, what should be happening is when you turn the speakers up, you should blink. He like, if you're not blinking when your snare hit, your snare is not cracking. Your snare is not going to translate on different outlets. It's not going to translate on your phone. It's not going to translate, on your car. He was like, just try it. And so ever since then, I've always kept that in mind. But then I kept that in mind, with my kicks and everything. But I always have and a lot of mixed engineers that I know, a lot of my fellow peers, we always have this thing where we hate when it comes time mixing the kick drum and mixing the bass. The kick drum and the bass is always the most difficult for me.
Right.
You know, it's just a
the
range.
low frequency.
The low frequencies, they're hard, so it's a range, but when I know it's right, it's based off of how it feels. Like how can I describe this? I'm probably about to sound like a real nerd, but
it's all right.
No, because I feel you. I'm right there with you.
There is a space just in my body where when the frequencies of the bass in the kick meet, it's just a feeling. So I align how I feel and then what I see on my graphic EQs, because where I know where the bass lives, that helps me to understand, okay, this is where it's living. But even though it's living there, does it feel how it should feel? It's just it's almost like there's a harmonization that kind of happens with the kick in the bass, where they're living together harmoniously. There's like you're and I learned this also playing in bands, right? The bass player and the drummer are supposed to be locked. They're supposed to be locked when they're playing.
Yeah,
they cannot be out of whack. You know, if the drummer and the bass player are not together, the whole live set about to be jacked up. It just is. It's not gonna feel. It's not gonna feel right. It's not gonna feel on right. You hear that in reggae and in every style of music, funk music. The bass and the drummer have to be lockstep. So when I'm working on my kick and my bass, whether it's synth bass or whether it's electric bass, live bass, acoustic bass, upright bass, whatever it is, they have to work together. There's just a feeling that I'm going for. There's a depth and a deepness and a punchiness and a roundness that I'm waiting to feel in my body. And when that feeling aligns with what I hear and what I see, then I'm like, okay, now I can move on to the rest of the song. I can move on to mixing the rest of the song. Because if that's not right, then I'm gonna always go back to that before I can start moving on. Because if your bass and your kick, you know, that's also where it can get muddy. Like if it's not right, your mixes all together will sound muddy. It won't sound clean. It'll be in the way of other stuff. So I'm like, I've got to get my kick and my bass right first. So I have my vocal day. Then I'm working on the kick and the bass only. Then I'm gonna add in my snare. When that's where I'm adding my snare, okay? And when I'm mixing, I always, there's something else my big brother taught me. Alton Jackson, let me shout him Alton Jackson, my big brother. He taught me cause when I first started mixing, I would mix in a way where I just can't make the vocals fit. The vocals ain't fitting. Like I started mixing the music and then the vocals is getting drowned out. Or I gotta turn the vocals up, and it sounds sort of like. And he said, "Well, this is what I do. This is the sauce. I'm telling you, this will help everybody." He's like, I leave the lead vocal in the whole time while I'm mixing.
Oh wow!
Leave the lead vocal in because the lead vocal is what has to cut through. So as you're adding your bass, your snare, your keyboards, your guitar, as you're adding that in, just stop and you'll be like, okay. Is my lead vocal getting drowned out? Okay, so then I have to turn this down because as you add, everything that you add when you're adding plugins, everything is going to make everything louder.
Right.
What I didn't say, what I meant, I'll backpedal. The first thing I do before I even start mixing a song, I turn everything down. Everything. I turn everything down at least. I do a minimum of 6 dB. A minimum of negative 6 dB. You know, sometimes you might go 8 or 10 because as you're mixing, everything you add is going to make it louder. You know, you don't want it super duper loud, because when you get to the mastering phase, you want to have headroom, but that's part of the mastering engineer's job, right? To make it loud. But you want to give the mastering engineer something to work with. If you're and sometimes mixing, you know, sometimes being in the red, it'll feel okay. You have to kind of gauge your metering and stuff like that. But you can't be super in the red and then be, I'm about to give it off to mastering. There's no headroom. Everything's about to be distorted, right? But everyone now, they're kind of like, oh, just make it loud. But I'm like, mastering also doesn't always mean making everything loud. That's not the purpose of mastering. Not solely. It's not solely to just make everything loud. Sometimes it's to add width, add depth, you know, smoothen it out, add glue.
Yes.
It's not always make it loud. Sometimes the mastering, you might have to turn it down some. Add warmth, add distortion. These are the things that you're pretty much prepping it and making it radio ready, or like you know for whatever DSP you're putting it on, right?
Yes.
So first thing I do, I turn everything down, everything, the vocals, the master bus, any effects, I turn everything down by 6, and then I'll adjust accordingly based off of the process that I do. So I'll do my vocal day, kick, bass, then I'm adding stuff in. And as you're adding your plugins, things are going to get louder. I leave the lead vocal in to make sure that as I'm adding things, it's not overtaking my lead vocal, especially if it's sitting in a good place and space. Because you don't want the music to beat up the vocals. Y'all, some of y'all stuff, y'all got y'all music beating up the artist. You are beating up the vocalists. You're beating them up with your track.
Right. I got a question for you. I have a question for you.
Okay.
When you start talking about reggae, I was looking at an interview with Ziggy Marley, and he was talking about how he does all his music in 432 hertz, right?
Okay.
So I'm trying to ask, the question I want to ask is, at what stage in the production is it doing the initial, when the engineer is actually doing the laying out the music? Do they do it in the hertz, or does it come in at your level, or does it come in at the mastering? Will you change the hertz of the actual end production? You want it to be 432 hertz, or whatever, whatever hertz it is that you want that song to be produced in. At what stage is that part, put into the production?
That will happen at the production stage.
Okay.
So when you have your producer, because a really great producer understands engineering as well. They do. Not saying that they have to be facilitating every part, but they understand the frequency spectrum. They understand where things live. So then they would pretty much when they're in the phases of starting the song or recording, his music is all live. It's so it's so organic.
Yes.
Right? So there's a lot more room to play with to me when you're like, yo, I do all my music in this frequency spectrum. Like, there's so much you can do with the instrumentation that he uses, right? He uses a lot of guitars,
yes,
a lot of live bass, live drums, like when you're start structuring the song and when you start recording it, the recording engineer has the ability to focus in on this frequency spectrum from like the preamps or whatever's in the studio. Like, you can hone in on that, right?
Okay.
At the recording stage, because you're using all these live instruments, keyboards, right? So you have the ability to focus in on this section of the frequency spectrum.
Okay.
You
So it
know?
would be easier to do that frequency if you have live instruments as opposed to if you try to do it using digital.
Well, if you do digital, you still can in digital. I just think I think from a scientific, let me see, hold on. Let me think about what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I
I
think,
would like to
oh, go ahead.
chip in something. So you see, with this, that happens with technology in time. You see, these new sound cards and home recording equipment, and also the upgraded sound cards that they are making. Most of them come with Sunshine. This is to your answer to your question. Most of them come with a flexible adjustment to the sample rate that you choose. So first of all, it used to be very rigid, like you could choose only 44.1 kilohertz and upgrade it to 48.0 kilohertz and then 88.2 kilohertz and 96 point. But now some of the sound cards, you can actually adjust the sample rate to any frequency that you want and lock in that 430 frequency before you even start arranging a kick or even start playing, letting the drummer knock a drum and all that. So the sound card or the mix board helps you adjust the sample rate for the frequency before the production starts. So I think that happens even before somebody thinks of knocking a drum, because if you don't adjust the frequency to the sample rate, you cannot adjust the frequency after production. It's going to mess up the whole song. It's going to, sometimes I tried doing that one time, and what I realized was that the song turned into like chipmunks. Like, you see how the way you play cassette record and then you fast forward and play at once, and then you hear, that's how the song is going to sound when you adjust the sample rate.
Yeah,
after.
because they keep saying that all the music that's being produced now is at 440 hertz.
Yeah,
and that's not a good frequency for us as humans to listen to. And 432 is a better frequency. So that's why people are starting to get into this whole, healing frequencies, and you 518 and 432, and you know what I'm saying? So everybody's starting to get into these different frequencies of music that evokes a certain emotion when you listen to them. You understand? So that's where this whole thing is coming from, where everybody wants to do their music in certain frequency. So that's why I was wondering, like, at what stage does it start? So now I see.
Yeah, it starts from actually it starts from buying the correct sound card. Actually, because I'm using a PreSonus and I only have 440 and I have 448 hertz. I have 88 hertz and 96 hertz. Mm-hmm. But if I were able to upgrade from this sound card to another, sound card that will help me change the sample rate according to the frequency that I want, I could adjust to, 530 or 430 or whatever frequency that I want. So that starts with buying the right equipment, and also it also has to deal with some people believe that it's something that it's kind of like it's a belief system that is running into the music, because it's a little bit true, but it's also not true, because that's my perspective, because gospel music is also made in 440 and people have their healing through that frequency. You get my point? Gospel music is made through 440 and people get their healing through that frequency. So how do you term that? You get the point. It depends on the inspiration and the belief system of the producer or the artist that they are arranging or aligning that frequency into the music. But initially, that starts from production level. Like that starts from the equipment.
Right on.
You know.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Okay. I think we're going to have to do a part 2 to this interview because guess what, Octavia? Let me tell you. I've listed how many questions? 39 questions. We've only done 10.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, we've only done 10. We've not done anything yet. It's left with 29 questions. So I think yes. So I think we need to reschedule, but let's continue. Do you still have time? Are we on schedule?
Yeah, I have time. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, because this is very powerful and this is very, very, intellectual. So
amazing.
Yes, I'm learning a lot of things. At some point in time, I'm going to let my crew also, ask their questions. If you guys have questions, please chip in the questions because I don't want to be the only person asking the questions. But let's get into this. This is my 10th question now.
Okay.
How do you balance preserving an artist's individuality while still producing commercially competitive records?
Ask your question one more time.
How do you balance preserving an artist's individuality while still producing commercially competitive records?
Oh, I see. For me, I'm very serious about like the artists that I work with in terms of their messaging. Because commercial music, at least from my experience from like the Black space, from the African American space, it's great. There's so much great music that we put out. There's so much great messaging. But then the commercial side, there's also a side that is promoted that is very damaging to my demographic that I do not like. So like I'll say it publicly here on TikTok, I do not care. Okay. That song, Spin That, I hate that song. Spin That.
Okay, I also don't like that. I don't know why. I've personally, from my lyrical capability point of view, I think that song is whack. Because I don't see the lyrics. I don't understand the lyrics. Like, and it's also encouraging some sort of, psychoness. Like
that's that new trending, the song that they're doing the little dance and stuff too. The
scamming, whatever,
and all that.
Like what?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So that song would be it's in a commercial space, but that song is what is being pushed and promoted, right? So records like that, if someone were to come to me and want me to do a record like that, I would say no.
You could have put different lyrics. Exactly. Because you could put different lyrics on that. Say like it's catchy. But how you gonna say you boost, but then you looking for a band with like you make your lyrics don't even make sense. Like you could have put something so different than what they put.
No, Ashkash, I think you the song that we're talking about, if I were to sing it, it says where all my nana. See, I can't mention the words here. TikTok will shut the live down.
So we talk about a song.
It's
there's plenty of them out
just
there.
Google it.
Yeah.
Google
it. If I sing the lyrics, TikTok will take down the live.
What song y'all talking about?
It's called Spin That. The artist, her name is Young Miami. So like that.
It's about
it's the
that
same.
song.
The
That
same
song is about scamming. It's about promoting.
Is the same song?
Boosting.
Yeah, that's.
Yes, it's about scamming.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You could
Jamaicans will call it chapa song. It's a chapa song, chop chop.
Yeah,
chop
chop. About the same song.
Right.
Yeah. So that song is commercial. Like it's blowing up. It's like they've labeled it the song of the summer. But it's a message that is, I personally feel, is degrading and damaging for Black people. Like, but that is
Right.
what's being praised and that's what's being pushed. So like for me, I know how to do commercial music that is not going to compromise my morals or my integrity or just the music that's being pushed out and betrayed. Like, so for me, for where I am right now in my career so far, it's not hard. But again, I also have, I bring so much value. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in the music industry for so long. I just know my value and I know what my strengths are. So I know how to, like, I just know the influence that I have. And I know that when I touch a song, I'm going to make the song amazing. Either way, whether I'm mixing it, whether I'm producing it, I just know my strengths so well. So I can work with an artist individually because, again, yes, when you're working with an artist, for me, it's another relationship. Especially with the way that I kind of tick as a producer. I study my artist, but that's just how I've just learned and understood how when you have producers and artists who make timeless like albums and songs, like you was up in each other's business. It's like you were rubbing shoulders together and it's like another personal relationship that's being formed. And I've had so many artists confide in me when we're in a session. They be having a bad day.
Wow.
Do I then go and okay, yeah, but we got to record this song. Like, do I do that to them? Like, no, I don't do that to them. And when we do that, they trust me. And again, they're pouring their art out. When you're an artist, you're being very vulnerable. When you're telling your story, you're talking about something that you're going through, or any of those things. So I have to have discernment and be cognizant about the space that my artist is in, because yes, they're still spending their money. We're still in this session, and we still have work we have to do. So I have to be cognizant, because and again, I have morals. So I'm not the type of person where I'll just be taking your money and then just I'm just not the type of person. So I'm like, okay, they in here, they having a moment, they're trusting me with their moment, but we still on the clock and they're paying for the time. So what the skill I've been able to acquire over the years is take those moments and still incorporate it in the song. That's a special skill. Everyone doesn't know how to do it. Some people will just try and talk the artist. Okay, all right. Well, you need a minute. You go take a break. Okay, come back. But I know how to take the moment and use it. I've done that so many times. I've had artists come in crying their eyes out.
Wow.
Crying their eyes out, just going through having a bad day, and I will stop and listen to them and let them get it out and talk with them or just be a sounding board sometimes. And then I'll be like, how do you feel? They're like, I feel loud, but I'm like, okay, now look, how you feel right now, I need you to go and put it on the mic right now. How you feel. Everything that you just let out, the emotional space that you're in right now, we need to can we put that on the mic right now? And because they feel better, they're like, okay, I'm like, just stay. And another thing, I'm very empathic. I'm very empathetic. I'm very empathetic. So I feel very deeply with how other people feel. So I can like, just what you feel. Cause I'm like, I'm here with you. I feel exactly what you're feeling right now. And I want us to stay right here. Do not lose where we are right now. So I'm like in it with you, you know. I've had artists who were angry in a session. I've had artists I had to stop because they just wanted to go. Now they weren't going off on me because I'm like, oh God, I don't even think you're talking to. They ain't going off on me, but they're getting out their frustration. You know,
No, but that's beautiful that you do that because really you're just backing them up from being on the edge, but you're keeping the emotion there. It's just the tears and the shaky voice. You're allowing them to talk out, but the emotion of what the experience, why they're feeling that way is still there so that they can put that on the track and put that feeling into it. But if they're crying and then their voice is shaking, then it's going to come out. So you're bringing them like 2 steps back from the edge of the cliff, which is a beautiful place to be to really get that song and that energy and the everything on it. So
yeah, but
that's gold.
But even I've had it with artists who weren't sad; they were just mad.
Yeah, but that too. But even just the talking, despite what the feeling is, if you talk to them, you get just enough out to back them 2 steps back from their feet being on the edge of the cliff and then falling over. So you still get, even if they're mad, it's still that emotion that needs to go in that song. So despite what the emotion is, you just backing them up just enough to where they're stable and they're not going to like fall off.
Yeah, I've had now I had one artist. Okay, there was one artist. Okay, quick story time. I had one artist who was a rapper, right? And he was frustrating me because I was trying to get him to be more aggressive rapping. And he was frustrated that I kept pushing him. And he was just like, I don't know what you want. And I don't know what, you know, and he was really mad. And I said, come out the booth. Come out the booth. And we sat in the control room and I'm like, tell me what's going on. And he was just frustrated. He was mad. And I'm just listening to him. And I'm not telling you, I'm just listening to him. And he's not going off. He just expressing his frustration. And I said, okay. I said, okay. So then I kind of talked him through what I needed him, you know, why I was going through this process. And he was still mad, right? And I'm like, all right. I said, so you see how mad you feel right now? I'm like, yeah. He was like, yeah. I'm like, go in the booth right now.
Great.
I said, hold on. I said, so this energy that you have where you're mad, stay there. Do not lose what you feel. I'm about to hit record. Yep. Best take. It was the take of the song. I was like,
afterwards.
Thank you. Because I always keep in mind it's about the song. I don't put my ego. My ego is not in the way. I tell everybody their ego at the door. So my ego is not in the way. I know that when we come in the studio, it's about what do I need to do to make this song right. So I take every piece of everything, every element to make it work. If you sad, if you mad, if you whatever, I'm all right. Let's do it. You know. So summarizing with your question, right? It's just part of the relationship. You know, I have to be close enough to the artist to like know and understand them to get the best performance out of them, you know, because it's their art and they're entrusting me with their art. That's how I look at it, you know, and with commercial music, you know, it's a line that you have to walk, and that line can be thin. So it's like, do you want to be on this side of the line or do you want to be on this side of the line, you know? But that's also a reason why I've carried myself a certain way, just throughout all of my years doing music. I just have, you know, and so I don't see me, you know, changing. I think in any room I walk into, I'm going to add great value with any artist I work with. You know what I mean? But I know my worth and I know my leverage and I know what I bring, you know? So if there's something I'm not feeling, I'll be like, I don't want to work on that. But I'm at a stage in my career now where I feel like I can do that. You know, I can be like, nah, I don't want my name attached to that. You know, because my name's going to be attached to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I want my name to be on that song? I'm like, no, not really. Like I want to work on songs that I like and that I want to listen to. But you know, at the same time, you know, it is still a business. you know, but I know I still have leverage to sway and still, stuff like that. Or, maybe, and I mean, I've recorded songs that I wasn't, thank you, protecting my brand. Ooh, that's a, I'll be on something all night about that.
That is
My
it.
brand.
I
Because
always
I actually,
name is your brand, like, hey, because people don't got to know your face, but if they know your name, then that's your brand, and you gotta.
yeah, that's very important. And I actually had to let go of an artist because of that very thing, because of my brand.
Wow.
I had an artist paying me great money. I was gonna pay great money, and after 2 years, we met at the end of the road because he wanted to be associated with I won't say who, but he wanted to be associated with a particular label who was gang affiliated.
Right.
Just and I'm just like, what are you doing? I was like, we don't even write music like that, but he wanted. I'm like, what? We don't even do that. But I had to tell him because he didn't understand, and I made his sound. But then he wanted to hook up with this label, and he wanted me to go with him. And I was like, first of all, what you got to understand is we have a contract. We have a contract. I'm not obligated to work with those people. We have an agreement. And I'm trying to warn you, and I'm trying to tell you nicely. I'm being nice right now. I'm telling you, I have to think about my brand. Who you associate with in this industry, it can help you or it can harm you. We see all that right now with it all the time. It happens all the time, right? I know a lot of people who were shaking in their boots when that whole Diddy thing came out.
But before that, you
got
a lot of people. Young Thug, then you Lil Durk, like you see it all the time. Like
it happens all the time. And so I'm like, who you associate with is very important. I do not want my brand, my company, associated with that. And he was just so pressed. He just wouldn't listen. I was talking to him and everything. And then finally got to the point I said, okay, look, I guess you think I'm not serious. I'm like, okay, look, if that's what you want to do, you want to take the music that we're working on, take it with them over there. This is how serious I am. I was like, you got to buy me out the records we did. That's how serious I am. I don't want to partner with you anymore. That's what that came down to. I don't want to partner with you anymore. Buy me out the songs. You can take them and do whatever you want with them. And I'm like, and here's my fee. Bam, you got to pay me $10,000 each song to buy me out of these records. That's how serious I am. Like, you think I'm playing? I'm not playing with you, And then he went and did something real stupid, and then me and him got into it, and I had to cut him off. And then he came, and then he was still trying to text me and all this type of stuff. And then I went and I got they in the chat. I won't say who they are, but I have my legal team, part of my legal team. I had to go to, I said, yo, I need to write up a cease and desist for this person. They up here making all these weird claims, and they were like, oh, I got you. Don't even trip. I got you. Go to cease and desist. And told my management about it. Had my management sent it to them. After that, they blocked me on all social media. I was like, okay, so now you know how serious I am.
Nice.
So I'm very serious about my brand, what I stand on, my morals, like, because there's people who they'll sell their soul to this industry for fame, and people will do a lot of stuff. And I'm just like, I'm just have to protect myself, safeguard myself. And being a woman in this industry, one of the things I always think about is my safety all the time. First and foremost, I'm always thinking about my safety. So in that situation, I was like, I'm not going to put myself in that type of situation. I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. And I know a lot of people. I don't like nobody that much. In the music, I don't like nobody that much. I'm just being real. Like, some people, they want you to flock to them and all that. I'm like, no.
So
Wow.
you said something about being a woman in this industry. Okay, so I want to ask, how is the working section with studio session with a female artist compared to a male artist in such situation?
Oh boy. The female artists are a lot. Let me see. Let me think about that. I've worked with more male artists than I have with female artists. It just kind of depends on the genre.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe hold on. Let me think about that because I've had great experience. Like I have an artist that I work with, right? You know, I work with who's a Christian artist, male Christian artist, great guy, great. You know, like nothing, great guy, right? I've also been in situation with male rappers. It's really the male rappers. It's the rappers. Some of the R&B guys, you know, they're a bit, you know, they think women worship them and stuff like that. So, you know, you have some of that type of stuff. So with the men, yeah, you know, so they're used to a certain type of treatment, and then but they meet me, and I'm just like, look, I'm being professional. I'm not, you know, So, but with the male rappers, it's something about just the ego, and
I can only imagine.
And they have been like, not all of them. It's not all of them, but I've had experiences where I've had to like check some of them. Not like they've gone to a limit where they've disrespected me, they've called me out my name or nothing like that. That's never happened because I carry myself a certain way. You know, I'm very nice, but I'm also very stern, but I'm not rude. But I'll respectfully check you because I'm like, we're all in the same room. So you don't get to, you know, approach me or demean me or nothing like that. So
What sign are you?
Huh?
What's your sign?
Oh, I'm born January 5th.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So so I don't.
Cancer, right?
Huh?
You're Cancer.
I would be a Capricorn, but I don't really get into too much.
Yeah, I'm Aquarius. I'm
okay.
No, but that goes back to your name being your brand, the way you carry yourself. They don't even have to walk in that studio and see your face. They already know through the grapevine what they can and what they can't pull off with you. So they go come in there respectful because your name is your brand. They don't have to try you because you've already made that for yourself, and that's what.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for that.
Yeah. So yeah, with I've had good experiences with men. I've had some wild experiences with men. I've had men who felt really uncomfortable rapping their lyrics in front of me because they're not used to having female engineers. So then they'll be like really apologetic, you know, like they were like, it's so weird. I've never had a female engineer. So I feel like I'm so sorry about what I'm about to say. Like I've had that happen. And I was be like, I mean, okay. I mean, I'm, you know, because they're saying all the bees and hoes and they'd be like, oh, I just feel so weird. And for me, I'm like, I'm glad you feel weird. You should feel weird. Yeah. Because I'm a queen. I carry myself with grace, respect. I love myself. I respect myself. So I'm like, I'm glad you feel uncomfortable because when you see me, you should see your mother, or you should see your sister, or you should see your aunt. That's who you should see. You know, but if you look at women like, you know, they just something for you to conquer, or however you view women, then sure you'll do that. But I'm like, but when you come across someone like me, I'm glad you feel uncomfortable. You should.
That is it.
Great. You should feel uncomfortable. You know. So I've had those experiences with men. With women, I've had mainly great experiences with females. They really feel a lot more comfortable with me. This is the feedback I get a lot because they have the experiences because they're showing up like an artist, right? They got their fit on, they got their makeup on, they nail, like, you know, they looking fly, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, I really feel more comfortable having a woman in the room because all the guys want to sleep with them or, you know, they disrespect them, you know, talk down to them, hold their songs hostage because they won't give them their number, all type of horror stories, you know. So so I've had, you know, women more independent, more of the independent one, not like the women who are like on label, not them who are on labels, but the ones who are like, you know, they're independent artists. You know, they were like, you know, I feel more comfortable having you here, you know. So and I'm not gonna take no crap either. So it's kind of a, I've had good and bad with men, but nothing to the point where I've been disrespected. I've been groped or touched or nothing like that. Like that wouldn't even fly with me. When you meet me, you know that's not gonna fly with me, you know.
Straight.
But I've had men who, like, you know, they want my number, and I'll be like, I'm just trying to be professional here, you know, like let's just keep it professional, you know what I mean. I've, you know, so, you know, they flirt with you and to make you feel uncomfortable. I've had one artist fire a producer because he was flirting with me so much in the room. And so she was like, dude, why are you flirting with my engineer so much? She was like, you need to calm down, you know? And so she got rid of them the next day. And she was like, yeah, I told them they can't come back no more. Because I just didn't like how they was just, like, they was doing it to me.
Wow.
You know? I've had guys flash money in my face. Like, you know, just being like, you know, just that kind of that rap environment. You know, they pull out this wad of money and trying to impress me. And I was be like, really? Come on, Doc. Come on. Bye. You know. So I've had all type of stuff, but you know.
Talking about labels, you just mentioned labels. So I want to ask, working with an artist with a label, and working with an artist who is on a label, which one do you feel more comfortable working with?
Oh man. Till this day, hands down, if Inayah called me to come and do something for her, I would just drop. If I'm not like in a contract with somebody, I would drop what I'm doing and go work with her. Because when I worked on her album Wait There's More, I worked with her. She just treated me so good. I mean, she treats her team just up here. She really, like, if you're on her team, she treats you well. And I mean everything from, you know, like if she was doing food orders and stuff, she would be like, yo, don't forget Octavia. Get Octavia's order, you know, before our session starts. Get her order. Are we having dinner? You know, Octavia, what do you want? Octavia, what do you want us to do? They have a refrigerator stock full of stuff. Tay, what do you want? So when you come in, this is what we have when you come. You know what I mean? Very nice, very sweet, very, very respectable, very kind. Values what I say, my input. Very humble. You know, like she's like my dog. Like she is, you know, I haven't seen her in years, but till this day, if her management were to reach out to mine and be like, yo, we need Octavia to come and do this for us, I would come and do it because I just remember the experience that she gave me. It was such a warm, great experience. Fun. She's fun, just really cool, you know. So hands down, definitely her. Like, definitely her. She's like been one of my favorite experiences, and I think she's really on her way to really getting the recognition that I think she really deserves.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow. Okay. Now let's get into music business. Many talented artists never build a successful career, because they don't understand the business side of the music. In your opinion, which business knowledge should every independent artist learn before releasing their first song?
Ooh. They need to understand the importance of splits, and they need to understand the importance of the size of the master recording, the composition side of the master, and the recording, the sound recording of the master. This is how you are going to get the majority of your money, right? That is business. That is, I will say, the top thing. Something you also need to do is make sure that you have, you're with some sort of performing rights organization. That is going to separate you to whether you're serious about being in the music industry or not. I tell people, if you're not associated with the performing rights organization, I can't work with you. And that's just out of respect, because to me, and it sucks because I've come across so many talented people that I'm like, I want to work with you. I'm like, but you got to get your paperwork in order, because I do not do this as a hobby. This is how I eat, how I pay my bills. So you've got to get your performing rights organization in order. Who's your pro? Who are you with? If you don't have that together, if you go in the studio and you do a song with somebody, you mean to tell me you're going to walk out of the studio and you're not going to talk about what you own in the song? That's business.
Let them steal the song from you if you're working with somebody shady. Like
I could steal the record from you. I could go register it, put all my information in, and copyright it, and you get nothing.
Right.
But you've got to know your worth. But this is business. One of my friends years ago told me, it's like, hey, you don't get in the music business. You don't get in the business to not make money. That's in any industry. If you were doing construction work,
right,
you gonna go there and do construction work for free?
Exactly.
Like, you're not going to do that. But if for whatever reason, when it comes to the music business, don't nobody want to talk about the business. Well, not don't nobody want to, but a lot of people really just overlook it. Like, oh, I'm just doing it for fun. I'm like, well, then do music as a hobby.
Right.
Don't get in. Don't because you're going to get screwed. You're going to get screwed over. You can't say you want to bump heads with industry people, big songwriters or big artists, because they have their team, they have their lawyers, they have their managers.
Gotta stay a team.
They have that together. So if you walk in that situation and you're unprepared, you're going to get screwed. I hear it all the time. It happens all the time. This is why I have chased down artists for my credits. Just my credit. I'm like, you are not about to not credit me. Well, not the art, their management. Not the art. I'm like, yo, get in touch with their manager. Get their manager to make sure I get my credit. Because that's a part of the business. That's a part of my resume. That's how I stay employed.
Right.
Right.
You know, speaking of performing rights organizations, and Trap and I have been going through this for years too. It's not a lot of business-minded people for example, in Ghana. So Trap, like you right now, your performing rights organization in Ghana, is there even one in Ghana?
Yeah, there's one in Ghana, but they've not been up to date with the tasks of making sure that the artists and the legends that even created the basics of our music, who started our music, high life. Afrobeats is high life, and that high life started from Ghana. But because our legacy has not been so strong, the Nigerians took over that and took Afrobeats for themselves. And that's for us to blame. High life is Afrobeat, and high life is Ghanaian, rich Ghanaian music. Indigenous Ghanaian music is high life. But The Nigerians took over that because we gave the chance to legends like Fela Kuti to come to Ghana and study our music. He came, spent time here, studied our music, and took over. And his generations down to Burna Boy. If you research, you will know Burna Boy is Fela Kuti's generation, and he took that international. With Wizkid and all of those people, they took that international because they had the privilege to come to Ghana to study high life. But because our performance rights organization here is not structured, we've lost a lot of legacy. So it's very hard to get your music through our performance, our PROs here. So me, I'm
Yeah,
with
even
BMI
with
for now.
BMI, the artists in Africa have to have a U.S. bank account.
But BMI is not the only one. There's other ones.
Yeah, ASCAP too. ASCAP too. You have to have and some other ones. So to speak locally for my country, I believe that we have a long way. Not a long way. We need education. That's it. Not a long way, because there are experts here who can go about it. There are stakeholders, there are gatekeepers and all that. But these people are not willing to invest in the legends. They just want somebody, one hit culture, like, hey, let's get this. This is the person that's on the road now. Yeah, he might do it. This is the hottest artist now. Let's put the money in. And then
that's
we
the
forget
same
the
artist
roots.
that you all had for the last 10 years that I know of.
So
same two
now,
artists.
because of that, I can tell you that a new artist right now, if you ask him the history of Ghanaian music, like the rich history of high life, of the people that started the music, they can't really tell you, because there is not much education structure that is being put in place for we, the young ones, to actually know the people who started the music, to be credited. So a lot of great musicians died poor, even last year, or was it this year? A great Tough, you know Daddy Lumba?
Yeah. That was last year.
Daddy Lumba died last year. One of the greatest high life musicians in the history of Ghana died, and it became a whole problem about his will, property, music, splits and all that. It became like the story went on 6 months. It was like a whole family fighting over this man's property, legacy, and all that, because there was no structure. You understand? So that's what we're suffering now, as some of these African countries. That's what we're suffering now, and our legacy is being wiped away. So we are allowing Western culture to come into this country to rewrite our story the way they see it fit.
Yeah.
You see, so that's the problem we're facing now. So to answer the question about the performance rights organizations in Ghana, specifically in this country, we need education, and we need to restructure the legacy. We need to tell our own story, and teach the youth and pass that knowledge down. Just like I'm here listening to all these geniuses, because I know that it's going to benefit me, because I'm in the music. This is what I do. So I need to learn more to be able to pass it down. Yeah. You see, so this is to speak for this country that I'm in. This is what we need to do now. So
it's something we can add to what we're building, though. We need to talk about that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Let me also add to what you're saying, Sharp Guy, because I think what you're saying is very prominent and it's very powerful, and it really needs to be focused on.
Yeah.
That when you think about like artists, right? At some point, they start to venture outside of music.
Yes.
They diversify.
Yeah.
So you don't want to put everything in music, not everything. When people have always used music is the vehicle to get you to the real money. I'll say it that way. Music is the vehicle, right? Like when we look at, like, okay, we'll say Kendrick Lamar, right? Kendrick went crazy and blew up and all that type of stuff. His music got him to where he started getting like movie roles. or speaking engagements.
Yeah.
Same thing like with Dr. Dre. His music led him to get into film. Getting him into other investments, right? It leads you to bigger forms of capital. So when you get those bigger forms of capital, you have to be smart, and you have to not just blow your money. Same thing with what's his name, Kanye.
Yeah.
Music led him to a shoe line. Led him to that deal, right? So you've got to think about, what am I selling? What am I using my music for to help sell? Right now, a big thing is brand deals right now, right? Everybody trying to get brand deals, right? Which is not foreign, like it's not new. Artists have always used things like for example, I think it was Cadillac Records, right? Or like Motown, those like those songs and stuff.
Yeah.
The car industry understood what to do with those songs. They put those artists in Cadillacs, and we made Cadillac, the brand, rich. Our music made them rich.
Yeah.
They use our music to sell their cars
To our people.
Right.
Because that's
So you
all my
got-
people drove was Cadillacs.
Right. Yeah, my daddy owned a Cadillac. Right.
Right.
I've turned switches in a Cadillac. 2 of them.
Yeah. I learned how to drive one of them big Coupe de Villes.
Them big iron Cadillacs.
Yes.
Not like what we got now. I've turned switches in Cadillacs, So the next thing was vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vinyl.
And it's trying to make a comeback.
Right, and it is, right? Cassettes, right? Music sold cassettes. Music sold vinyl. So, like, what is your product? What are you selling?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of artists, that's when 360 deals, that's not really it's not really popular anymore. But it's like, the label, when they were like doing those deals, they're like, yo, we don't just get part of the album sales, we get your merch, we get a piece of your merch that you sell, we get a piece of the tickets that you sell at your show.
You're not even allowed to promote your own music without getting approval.
Right, exactly. So what are you selling?
I think Jay-Z is still in one of those deals, isn't he? One of those 360 deals.
I haven't followed up with him, but
I think so.
But but that's important. Like, what are you selling? Like what's your brand? Are you could sell cups or stuff like that. If you get big enough, not even big enough. Let me take that back. Not even big enough, because now you don't even have to be that big. If you just have a core base, you're selling some t-shirts. I don't know. Hats.
Even touring, like you said, touring to get ticket sales, like it even matters enough to that, and you still just writing music.
Yeah, and that's what we just saw. The example that we have right now is La Russell.
Yes.
He's the blueprint right now. He literally started from the bottom and did shows out of his yard and got his audience and got them emotionally connected and was just being himself. And in that, out his backyard, I'm sure he took out a loan or something, got his credit up, took a loan out and invested in his business. Went and printed shirts or mugs, and the people that was coming, because they liked them, they were buying it. Then the word started to spread, and then people got the shirt, and then he started investing, going on social media and doing videos and all those things, putting the money in marketing, right? But the thing is, when you have that, then you have to think about, what do I have to sell to make money? I had an artist, still have. When we dropped his album, he was skeptical. His name is Daniel J. He was skeptical about doing it direct to consumer. And I said, let's try direct to consumer first before we actually put it on Apple Music, because they don't pay nothing.
Right.
You have a following. People like you. You have a huge following. Let's just try direct to consumer first, and then let's do pay what you want. Don't even put like a price on it. Do pay what you want.
We do that. We have a separate site, and it's this has been, but you could, whatever you want. But yeah.
Because if you do, hey, just pay me $5 or $10. That's what you're limiting people to do. So we went and I said, let's just do it. This is the day. We'll put some promo out, all that, bum. He made $500 in like 2 weeks, direct to consumer, without even putting it on the digital streaming platform. Because what happened was people paid more. So okay, I'll give you $50. I'll give you $20. I give you $30. I give you $5. I'll give you $75. I give you $100. Like, and it was like it wasn't even like it was it was like maybe 40 people. And I was like, 40 people? You got $500 out of 40 people? What if you really pushed it? And I'm like, that method works. I've seen it work. Now, if you really pushed it, but you got to be dedicated. You got to go in people's DMs. You got to email people. You got to text people. It's like real human interaction, right? Even right now, that's something J. Cole is doing for his album that he's promoting. He's on tour right now, but he went around the country in his car selling to people, buy the tape from him directly.
I saw that. I saw clips of him doing that. That's dope.
J. Cole did that.
Yes.
What's the other? Cardi B. Yeah. She was in the New York subway.
She was giving shoes away, like right outside the bodega, and she's a big time.
She big time, but it's like she understands. Like, wait a minute, this is what's happening.
J. Cole filled his trunk on his last album, and well, though it drove all around, like
right. But
that's
it's
true.
Like, okay, what do you have to sell? So figure out something that you want to sell. Something simple. Just start simple. And I'm speaking to myself too, because someone on my team was like, "Yo, you need to sell this." And I have been for a long time been trying to figure like, I need to sell something, but I don't know what to sell. And they came with me and they said, you need to sell this. And I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. But again,
it's so important though. A lot of people think that they could just stay by themselves and they'll want to. They either add the wrong people on that ain't really for them and they take them down, or they try to do everything themselves. And at a certain point, you end up going backwards.
Yep. Very true.
So in general, how do you define branding?
Oh man, your brand is who you are.
Maybe your brand.
Like in so many terms, like branding is like, who are you? But you got to know who you are.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't know who you are, then you won't know what you're selling.
Because you got to stand behind it. You got to stay behind it because it's always going to be there. Like you said, the music's always going to be out there. So even if you make a logo and you put it on a shirt, you got to always stand behind that. So you have to know who you are, and you got to always make sure you're ready to represent what you built, because it's always going to follow you.
A lot of people don't know who they are, which is why they can't define what their brand is.
Yeah.
Right. So like part of my brand, and you're a part of your brand, right? So for me, my brand is love for music, right? Of course, you got the Octavia, I'm Octavia, but it's like, love for music, where we putting the love back in music, right? I feel like, for one, it's so many caveats, but like I'm a music lover. I'm a music fanatic. I've spent so much of my life and my time investing in my music career and investing in others. I enjoy investing and pouring what I know into other people who are artists.
Dope
like
logo and then put a dope signature right below it, and that's your brand.
Yeah, and my a friend of mine who created my logo When he made my logo, it was like, what's the first thing everyone notices when they see Octavia? He was like, it's her hair. Her hair.
Okay.
And that's true because people identify me by my hair. And so my logo, when he made it, it's it's my hair outlined with headphones on. When I saw it, and when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I love this. It's so me. You know, I'm natural, but that's who I am. I've been you know, with my natural hair, you know, over 15 years. You know, I used to press this up. I don't do that anymore. So I'm all natural. This is my natural hair, organically. I'm very pro-black, so I don't have a problem having my hair, you know, in my natural state. I love who I am. I love my people. So I'm like, when I saw a logo, I was like, oh, this is so me. I could just tell that it was just like, this is Octavia, right?
Nice.
So all of that is an extension of me. You know, I love music. I love what music does for people, and I feel like there is a
And she walked too far away from her Wi-Fi.
I want to pour that back in.
Wow.
So
Nice. We give thanks. I think we need a part 2 of this session because I'm so filled and so blessed.
can I add on to that real quick? So like our label, our business, we have 2 logos. So we have the music logo that fits the music, but then like on our website, we have the business logo. So they're the same names, but they're 2 different ways because we have one that you can see because we're a sponsor and it fits the music and it fits the art, you know, the artist, my business partner. But when we're going to try and get loans and we go into banks, like we don't like this logo, it's gonna turn people away, but it fits that. So we actually made another logo that's on our website, and it's our business brand, like business branding logo. Okay. The business side of it. So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, you don't even have to fit into one logo or one box with your brand. Like, we have it separated for when we're promoting the music, but we're not just about music. We're a corporation. So we're doing other things, and we're making sub LLCs that are owned by our main to build, you know, what is a corporation. So we need that it to have its own business side, you know? So you don't even have to fit in one box. Like, you have to think outside of the box.
Yeah. Great point.
Exactly.
That fit.
All right. With that said, that brings us to the end of part 1. Octavia, please. I would like to plead with you so that you would make time for us another time, and hopefully next time we should get the time right. So
yes,
that
we will. We'll get the time right. We'll link with you and see when you're free.
Yes, would have to schedule another session, another part 2. Maybe there might be even part 3 because we still need over here in this side of Africa. We need a lot of education from your kind of expertise, because some of these things that you are teaching me, they are new to me, and there are colleagues of mine who would listen to this and they'll be like, oh wow, I never knew this is, you know, how this happens, or I never knew that's how you do this. So I really need another
I have
session.
4 pages of notes myself.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Yes.
Amazing interview, amazing
I have been writing down a lot of information that you've been giving us, because we've been going at this thing now for 10 years and it hasn't been easy. But the business side of it, that's the thing that we can't quite get, you know, down. So
Yeah.
That is key.
So,
The business is
yes.
key. But yeah, I agree. We can definitely have a part 2 or part 3. Like, you know, when Trav Gad told me like this is something that he put on the table, offer me, I was like,
Say less. Yes. Yes, I would
God
love
bless
to.
you. God bless
I would
you.
love to.
God
Thank
bless
you
you.
so much. We really
God bless
appreciate
you.
it.
We truly
It
appreciate.
was amazing
Yeah.
conversation. And
Because the last conversation that we had, I was telling her that in Ghana we don't know booking per hour. And she was like, really? I said, yeah, we don't know studio booking per hour. What we know is you pay for the record and you come to the studio. The studio is yours for the whole day. The producer doesn't even have time to
Girl,
piss or
look,
eat.
I know about booking per hour, but those boys get in the studio and they just want to be in there all day. And I tell
All
them,
day
you know, you have
smoking
to
and just be
pay,
there.
you have to
You
pay
just be,
this
and
much per hour, and then they get to talking behind me, and you know, I don't understand nothing they saying. They got like 250 languages. I lived in Ghana for 5 years. And so we had our studio in Ghana, and those boys would come in there and they talked to Trap, and I'm like, and you know what you were saying about how nice the lady was to make sure you ate and everything. Those boys wouldn't even give my husband a satchel of water or a piece of bread. I mean, he would be in there for hours and not have anything to eat. Nobody cares, you know, just there, just there, just there, just there.
Yeah.
And they take up his whole time. Yeah,
with,
booking per hour. Trap God.
yeah.
my business partner,
So
who I have he's my best friend. He's Jamaican. We grew up in Carolina together, but he's a dual citizen, so he goes back and forth. He's finally home, but yeah, so he's like a collectiveness, and what he was, and he's work. I watched him in the studio. His whole family, his father is a famous artist, was a famous artist in Jamaica. His brother was signed to the Lost Boys at one point, and what he was missed, like he when I said earlier, like he got so far and he's worked so hard, it was like he started work backwards because he couldn't even keep up with everything. And I would always tell him, like, you need to make your own. You need to make your own. And one day, it's been about a year and a half. He was like, well, I'm gonna make it with you. And I've done restaurant management 15 years. I'm in IT, you know, and so I'm the back end. And so I've been learning all the business, and I've been doing the business side and like, you know, doing that for him while he does his music stuff. And then we added a nonprofit to it so we could give back and make a difference, you know, and the kids coming up and showing, like, we come from a little small town, but you know, you can be anything you want to be. Again, what I said to you, it makes a difference. So we mentor youth, prison reform, and different stuff like that, trying to help give back. And so we're aligning both of them together, and it's been amazing. And he wasn't able to come through, but I told him about you. Hopefully, he just got his time is all messed up because he just got home from Ghana 2 days ago. So his time, it's a 4-hour difference, and he's
It takes a minute to get adjusted.
But
that's for
I told him
sure.
about you and everything, and he was excited, but then he didn't answer his phone. So I know he's knocked out asleep. But having a right team,
I think that's awesome.
And always staying with the people that always, like, you know, from day one is how you make it as well. And the business side is so important. And so really, we're really just really kicking, even though we've had these the business and the nonprofit for over a year and a half, we're really just kicking it off because I just spent a year just learning and building and writing business plans and financial state, you know, and just growing and learning. So I've loved the experience of the business side of it and getting to know RCSI codes and, you know,
all the metadata,
how to circle everything around and really find the funding for yourself to really make, you know, my best friend's dream come true, you know. So
it definitely is a lot of work.
It is, but there's a lot out there if you just invest in it. Like it's well worth.
Yeah. If you can fund the dream yourself, and invest in it, invest in the marketing, have a plan, come up with a plan, just like any other business, right? Like if you think about, I don't know,
if you put together a business plan and you go to a bank, like you can get funding if you just have if you have an idea and you can show that you've put a little bit of work. It doesn't take much. You don't have to make $1 million for a bank to want to invest. If you have an idea and you built it and you have years of videos on YouTube and stuff, like they take that as I've even wrote P&Ls and backdated 3 years before our business from his MBI and everything, and put on our Duns and Bradstreet to help our business credit score, so that we don't even have to put our own name on to get loans. Like, you can get a simple LLC and you can build your business Duns and Bradstreet credit score, and you could your light bill, your phone bill, our trade lines like that build your business credit score. And you, like, it's those things that people knew, like, you could really, and that's how you invest in yourself, and but a lot of people don't know that knowledge. And
yeah, you can fund your business yourself just with but and I know everyone's situation is different, but again, to your point, Ash Cash, if you just have a team of people, or just in groups, like groups of people win. Like, when you're on the same page, and you have a common goal, and you focus on that common goal, you're gonna win. If
there's only 3 of us. There's only 3 of us. We bought our first property and all types of, we're
and even to Trap Gad's example of what he just shared with me earlier, what he shared with us earlier about the business side of how things have to be done in Ghana. You have to look at like a day session typically is like 12 hours, right? And if you're not doing it by an hourly rate, like I think the example you gave me before was like $50. Like $50, if people want to be in there all day, you got to calculate that. So like, if you were to be in there for like 12 hours or 10 hours at just $50, not even hourly, you're working for $4 or $3 an hour. You can't pay a bill with that.
So connected with Long Lasting and Trap, that's what we're doing, this whole we're trying to build a global movement, and we're building something and helping collectively across countries, and try and brand and spread the word and spread music, so that's what we're doing.
And attract, you'll work with people who see your value. People who see value in you, they'll pay you what you're worth.
Yes.
Exactly.
So you just got to know your worth,
Yeah.
Know
what also the knowledge as well, so.
Because anybody will try to get something for free out of you if they can. That's just how they, that's how they roll.
It doesn't matter what level you're at.
That's true.
You could be I've been among the richest of the rich, wanting cheap labor, wanting cheap stuff from me. And I had to tell them, no, like, what do you think I am? Be like, what do you think this is? Like, seriously, it don't matter. People are going to try and get cheap from you, whether they don't have money or whether they do have money. Yeah. It's all a matter. It's all about
respect.
What you're willing to accept, and of course, respect and its demands.
Yeah. But spreading out as well, like he was saying, like the people there, they don't even have the knowledge of it. So it's not even about, being used and stuff. They just that's what they know and that's what they're used to. So spreading Trap around to, a global level that he could get and better. We could teach Ghana better, but then you could also get him to places that he deserves to be based off of his,
But the thing of it is that the people that are there that are already
about people, though,
at the top of the industry are not even remotely trying to get the system straight so that people can make money from the business.
That's okay. They don't have
so
to.
They're taking their sales out of Ghana, opening up American bank accounts. And then they're, getting paid through their platforms with, US dollars, or, you know what I'm saying? So they're not building up the industry in Ghana. Right. Yeah. So that's our problem with that.
That's definitely, that's a systematic, like I could get on my soapbox about that, but that's really a systematic issue, especially with just how Trap said it earlier, how the Western Western world and Western civilization is, and how they do, our neighbors of foreign countries, Africa and things like that. But that's why you have people like me, and there's more people like me who want to invest back into Africa.
That's what
African Americans, we want to, because we're coming to an understanding.
We are waiting.
Yeah, we're really, I like to say, we're really waking up, and there's an understanding of like, okay, there's so much resources on the continent of Africa, and there's in certain places where they're kicking other nations out, and they're like, no, we've been giving y'all too much. We've got to reserve back for us what is ours.
Right.
And but it's just coming to understand your worth and what you have. Like, where you are, it's the richest continent in the entire world.
Yeah.
Everyone is taking all the resources from there, and it's like, why are we giving everything away? It's about worth. It's about how your mindset is. And so systematically there has been just an oppressive way of thinking that we have been indoctrinated with, even over here in the States. It's over here too. Like there's a lot more opportunity here for us, but there's still our own challenges. It's still, but again, what part of what I'm doing and what I'm screaming to the rooftops about with African Americans is I'm saying to us, I'm like, yo, do y'all understand that we spend like $2.5 trillion every year in America? That's how much money as a group, Black people as a group, we spend $2.5 trillion spending. So that's why I don't like songs about spend that, because that's how we give away all of our wealth. We just spend, and we make everybody else rich.
So you could easily spend spend that, make that.
Yes, thank you.
It would have been just as catchy. That's what I was saying earlier.
Invest that.
Invest that. There you go.
So even places like the continent of Africa. I'm looking at something right now. I saw that there's an oil reserve that's about to go public in a spot in Africa.
Yes, ma'am. Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yes, ma'am. We need to start investing in that.
I'm looking into that because that's where our money needs to go. It needs to cycle back into us, but then we've got to understand, well, why would you do that? Why would you invest your money? Because that's how you build wealth. That's how your money grows.
That's how everybody else is building it.
Every other group in the world, everyone invests, but with our demographic, these are things that we just haven't known, or I can get on a whole soapbox about that.
We can go into a whole dynamic about all that.
Yeah, that's a whole economic lesson.
Yes.
But I am screaming from the rooftops, like, we've got to invest in each other. We have to. We can't be looking like for everyone else to fix it.
Right.
It's just I just don't believe that's going to happen. Not to say that we aren't old. We're old a lot, but I just don't think that we're in a space, especially right now with how things are, that's to be expected. We also have to be careful. Again, this is not to negate the history of what has happened to us. That there's no argument for me with that. Like I'm pro Black. I love Black people. I love me some us.
I do too.
But we also have to make sure, we have to be careful that we don't fall into victim mentalities.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you think about, like, just for a second, right? If you think about someone who is with an abuser, right? Or someone that keeps abusing you, do you keep going to that abuser expecting them to change?
That's what it's your fault. You're staying there.
Asking them to value you and see your worth and love you, and you want to force them to accept you and force them to love you. I'm like, why?
No.
Are we going to keep expecting them the people with those mentalities to change? I just don't think they're going to. They're not going to.
The generation of curses, like you have to break them somehow, some way. You have to, make a change within your family, within your community, within the people around you. You have to teach and bring knowledge, and to break that chain and that cycle of, like you said, victimization. But because a lot of it is lack of knowledge. The victimization is lack of knowledge and lack of understanding. So when we teach and we tell our stories and we try to change teach the youth mentorship, and at least it has to be, as long as it happens at some level, if we teach the ones below us, and then at their age, then it'll at least come up. I don't want to be too old and living in idiocracy,
Yeah, and that's why songs like the one I mentioned, I don't like songs like that.
Yeah, I just went and listened to that song and looked at the lyrics, and
but
a lot of that is a systematic thing, and that could go into a whole other.
It gets like you said, it becomes a generational issue because the children hear it, and then that's what they see, and they think that that's what we're supposed to do. And then if we have so many of us who celebrate that, then around the world, we're looked at around the world like, oh, they like that. They like
we look stupid over here in the United States.
I'm like, we're not that.
Right.
Exactly.
Girl, we better let you go.
Yes.
We're going to have to pick this up again. Because we'll be on here all night.
Right. It's so interesting.
My podcast about that topic and really deep dive into that subject, and give you an opportunity to record that and have that, and try and make that's the whole point of my podcast, is trying to a generation of curses and making a difference and teaching better. So I'll come up with you on that. I'd love to talk about all those topics. And
we can hook it up. Yeah, but I could go on about this all night because I'm very passionate. This is something I'm very passionate about when it comes to Black people, African Americans. But again, I believe that we're in a space where a lot of us are coming to this realization, and we're going to turn back. If just for a moment, we have to turn back into ourselves. We have to pour into ourselves. We have to invest in ourselves. Does that mean that shuts everyone else out? I don't believe that does, because I believe that we live in a society, in a world where people do trade with one another, people do business with one another. But what's happening with Black people is we are so busy giving everyone else our money. We're making everyone else rich, but then no one else is investing in us. So it's like we can't boycott our own businesses and everyone else boycott our businesses too, or we're not creating businesses. People are just trying to figure out how to manage businesses. We don't just need managers. We need people to create businesses.
Right.
If you create a business,
I do that
then
as
you
well.
can employ in your family or employ. You can do those things, and then you can get the capital because you're working as a group. But that also comes with a lot of healing. There's a lot of healing we have to go through as well. A lot of healing. I think we need a lot of therapy as a group of people. We need therapy because we're very traumatized people, because we have to look at each other and we have to love each other, and not be so quick to just be like, well, I don't trust you, or I don't, how are we going to work with each other if we're moving around with that type of trauma in our bodies?
Yeah.
How are we going to work together? We have to be able to work together, work through our issues. You know what I mean? And then again, I don't think it's all Black people, but I know a large majority of us are waking up and like, hey, like we're getting the economic education, we're investing, we're understanding what that is, and there's a lot of us who want to pour back into us.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, me
Wonderful.
too.
I also do.
Me too. Most definitely. Thank you so much for your music, your production,
to build businesses.
Everything is just
give them the knowledge of grants and loans, and I have it all built. I haven't started yet, but I have the whole thing built to do seminars and be able to give out like all the knowledge and packages to where it's almost like a deployment where putting out all the, you just fill in the blanks, have the documents prepped and all that to try and help, people, because it's not hard, but it's not hard, but it is hard.
Yeah. When you get the knowledge.
Yeah, and since I've already have it and I've built, that it was something that came to me, like I could easily sell, and not expensive, but just bare minimum. And it just walks you, depending on how much help you want, walk you through it, do meeting calls and stuff and help you out, or if you want me to do all of it, then I deploy the whole thing for you. But you like levels of what people are, because I want it to be cheap, where you have a checklist and you just follow that checklist, but you could always schedule a meeting with me or something.
Yeah, Ash Cash, you got, yes, you're 1,000% correct. Yes, ma'am. 1,000% correct.
That is it.
Yes.
That's it, girl. We're going to have to network and work together and come together as a collective, as, a group. Because I plan on going back to Ghana myself. I'm Rasta Bread Man. So we started, it's a vegan bread business that we started in Ghana. And then I came back here. And so I've already incorporated it and got my Duns and Bradstreet, my, everything is legal here. And Trap God is actually the president of a U.S. corporation, which means that he should be able to travel, on a business visa back and forth between Ghana and the U.S. that way. Okay. So I'm going back to Ghana, and we're going to open up and get our FDA approval. So because Trap was shipping me the cocoa powder from Ghana and the coconut oil and the chocolate extract, and I'm doing tiger nut milk. Okay. So everything has to be, FDA approved. I'll go back and then, get everything set. And then we'll need investors to, help us get started there. Then we'll come back here, and then we'll get everything situated here as well. So we all, working together as a collective, as a group, to get everything going, because this thing here in the U.S. is flopping for real. It's not gonna be able to. It's we gonna have to get up out of here.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. Because
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think the U.S. is definitely on a decline.
Yes.
I'm saying the term is a failing empire. I think that is correct.
We're an embarrassment.
Yeah. But it's time is. I just think that it's the time is unavoidable. It's
time for us to go.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. Every empire has their time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just think that with the history that the U.S. has, I think it's just coming back full circle.
Yeah, we need to get together and get a big enough house, a hotel, or something where we can all, have accommodations. We all invest in that, invest in business, and everybody can start moving.
Jet setters.
That's how everybody else does it when they move to our country, right? They get a big house and they move about 30 people in. And then they have one person get another house, and then they 30 more people, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna have to get something where everybody can live in Africa, and then everybody can come and we start our businesses.
I think the investments have to start first.
Yes.
Like there's the educational aspect that we've got to understand. We've got to get the educational aspect down. We've got to understand investing. Got to understand where you get your wealth from.
Yes.
We have a travel agency over at Ghana too, Jet Setters. You find us on Facebook and Instagram. We have packages to travel to Ghana.
Oh.
Yes. So they have the petroleum in Nigeria, and they also have some bonds that you can invest in Nigeria as well. I'm not sure about Ghana yet, but the thing about Ghana is they used to have like a $500,000 requirement for Americans to do business in Ghana, but this past year they just dropped that, so they don't have that requirement anymore. So you can actually go to Ghana and start a business without having to have all of that, capital up front.
Yeah, but now what
Tell
this
me that.
current government is doing, is letting people invest in gold. So they are now introducing the citizens to the gold because they feel like the gold is being taken away much more by the Chinese. So they are introducing something called the gold board. The gold board, where citizens can actually have access to purchase gold and have it for themselves and invest it. So the gold comes in like coins per kilogram or per, per ton. It comes in coin base, and you can buy the coin, keep the coin for yourself, or reinvest the coin. I don't really know about it, but when you Google Ghana Gold Board, you know more information about it. So those are some of the investment processes that they are introducing for the citizens and also outsiders to also come and station themselves.
And you know what else is a good business in Ghana? Coconut oil, coconut shreds, coconut water, anything coconut, because coconut grows around everywhere. So it's free. All we have to do is get it. And girl, the coconut oil is so good. I use the coconut oil for my bread. And it's so delicious and so fragrant. We're going to talk about all this. Okay, we're going to let you go.
We're going to put a
we
pin.
can talk
So
all
like
night.
our next one, Trap Gad, we could put a pin in talking about like the investment and all that, the investment part, because if you're investing properly, you can fund your music career.
That's true.
If you understand
Yes.
and not be afraid to go in debt. I was just having a conversation with my niece earlier about this because she's about to go to college. And so she was like, Auntie, I don't know. I was thinking about taking out college loans. And I said, baby, don't take out no loans for college. I was like, for one, there's too much free money. You can get free money. I said, but look, I said, Auntie, I'm going to tell you, if you were to take out a loan, this is the only reason why I would tell you to take out a loan. If you decide to take out any type of loan, you need to take out a loan to invest. Don't spend. You don't take out the money to spend. You take it to invest it. So let's say if you got your credit score up or whatever, and you were able to get a loan, don't be scared. You take a loan out for like $25,000. Some people be like, oh my God, how do I pay that back? Right?
Flip it before you spend
it. You learn about how to make an income generator. Some people be like, well, I'm gonna go buy a business, and that it might take a while for the money to come in through that business.
Yeah.
So one of the quicker ways is either maybe you can sell a product online, e-commerce, like that's really important. Is the cost is not as much, but what happens is that you give yourself cushion now where you could learn the business.
Yeah.
If you have $25,000 or more sitting in your account, you can sit comfortably and you can learn about the business. You could take a class, you could do whatever, or you could take that money and you can invest it in like the stock market or something and let that money grow.
That's why our youth is so important, because we didn't know that when we were younger. We didn't know nothing about credit, nothing about messing. You want a credit card? Sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was messed up before we even had a chance. That's why our youth is so important. They don't teach
thing
that
is,
in school.
Don't be scared to take the loan out. You just got to know how to make the money back. So you got to come up with a plan to where you can have passive income coming in. Because then if you take that loan like that out, you're going to get an offer for another loan from somewhere.
Exactly.
But you have to take it and you have to invest it. Invest it in places where you're going to get dividends back or things like that back.
Well, even in a business, get a line of credit. It's easier to get a line of credit than it is to get a whole loan. Like a line of credit, you can still money for you to buy. If you are ready for a business, you buy everything you need with a line of credit. But it's so much easier to get that line of credit than it is to get just where they hand you $50,000. They'll give you $50,000 on a. But it's not that much of a difference, Right. You just want to track what you spend it on, But if you start a business and you want to build a studio, a line of credit,
it's true.
Right.
I know
all these businesses,
getting into
are built.
investing.
Yeah, all
He's
these
been learning that.
Yeah,
but we don't let you go. We done said it like 30 times.
I know. We'll keep talking. But
well,
yeah,
good
all
night.
these
Thank you again.
businesses.
It was a wonderful talking to you. Wonderful meeting you. I look forward to working with you in the future and having you up here again. This was amazing time.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you so much. I really
we
appreciate
give thanks. We give thanks.
Yes.
May the Most High bless you. And then would keep up with you about the next follow-up so that you can also tell us when you'll be free, and then we can do this hopefully. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Is there anything that you would like to share before we end the live?
Social media links or anything like that?
Yes. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook with just my first and last name, Octavia Landix. I will pop up. Right now, I do have some interesting things in the works. I don't want to speak too soon, but I may have something really, really great on the horizon for me right now. But again, I'm working with a lot of independent artists right now. Again, I am in the getting into the AI tech space and what that entails with helping empower the music industry.
I'd love to
one of the artists just came in the chat. It's AI is here.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. And we have to, as music creatives, look at how we are going to use the tool to help create more opportunities for us.
Business as well.
It's here. It's not going nowhere. So we can either look at it like it's the monster that's going to wipe everything out, or we're like, okay, well, how do we utilize it to create more businesses or employ more people? It's a cycle. Everything happened. Like when the Industrial Revolution happened, that was a thing. When the website and the internet came, that was the thing. When the manufacturing jobs left, that was a thing. So society is always evolving. So AI is still very new, is still very sensitive. So I would just encourage all creators, look at it as a tool. Look at it as a tool, and I think for maybe people who still don't understand, we can maybe try and help some of them understand how we can utilize it as a tool.
Let me tell you something right quick. When I decided that I wanted to incorporate my business from the beginning to the very end, even when I ran into problems, and I ran into a lot of prejudice and a lot of problems, right? And I used Gemini. As a matter of fact, Trap was like, look, just go and use Gemini and Gemini help you. And do you know what Gemini told me? Gemini told me exactly this. Gemini said, Leslie, he said, do you realize that the work that I've done for you in the last 2 weeks, it would have taken 20 people to help you do it, and you would have still been 2 or 3 months out before you actually got this done.
Oh, wowzer.
So yes, AI can definitely, it's like I had a whole team of people. A whole team of people, and it was just me and AI, just me and Gemini, and we did everything. And it was even like the paperwork part. I would take a screenshot of the paperwork and screenshot it and show it to Gemini, and Gemini would say, now, no, don't check this, check that. Right, exactly what I say. Paste, copy and paste this and put it in number 2. Copy and paste this and put it here and put it. I mean, everything exactly how the paperwork had to be done for people that are not of my color, okay? Because there is a difference. And they make it a lot more difficult for us than it needs to be. And even to the point where Gemini told me, stand your ground because they're going to say this to you. Gemini told me this. They're going to say this to you. But you say back to them exactly what I say to you. And so it was about my CDL. So I went and I told the lady exactly what Gemini told me. And she looked at me, she said, who told you to say that? Yes. You see? Girl, don't play. So what you're saying is exactly right.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll schedule another time. We'll keep that. We'll keep up to speed with you so that we know exactly when you'll be free. And then, because this is, I could sit here and just, I could sit here for hours and listen to you with dropping gems, but you know, everybody has their businesses and their personal things to go.
Yeah. We might need to start a little earlier next time.
Yes, most definitely. That is true.
Because we've been going for quite a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is very intellectual. Like the chat's been going crazy. Like people have been I think I need to actually big up everybody who is supporting, who I sent a request. Big up G-Terra. G-Terra has been here for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, G-Terra, big up yourself. And let me see, Long Lasting. Big up Long Lasting all the way from UK. I see Mr. Swayze, the world.
Oasis.
Say Oasis.
It's Brandis.
It's Brandis. And then
Tara.
This person, the songwriter.
Saeed is Brandis. Oh, hold on. Oh, I need to shout out the actual artist too, who we played.
Yeah. Yes.
So I didn't do that. So Hey Doctor was by my good friend Garrett. Garrett is a singer-songwriter out of Long Beach, California. And we've been wanting to drop that song for a while. So I was like, let me go ahead and do a vibe check on it. So Garrett wrote that song. All For You is by Mr. Swayze and Reva Diva. They're a married couple out of Belize. They're my very, very dear friends. And so that is the two of them. That's basically their love song to each other.
Oh, that's sweet.
Wow.
And let's see, Light a Fire is by a phenomenal R&B artist named Dayna Madison. We dropped that record 2 years ago and went viral on IG. Tony Braxton shared it and did a whole video post about it. So it got I forgot how many, we got millions.
Nice.
It also charted number 5 and number 10 on the iTunes charts when we dropped it that day. So that song was crazy. It was picked up by Disney. It got a sync placement. And one more thing I'm missing that the song did. But that song did a really, really great. And
what's the name of the song?
It's called the song Light a Fire.
Light a Fire.
Light a Fire. Yeah.
Light a Fire.
You played that, didn't you, Trap?
Yeah, that's
the first one.
That's why
Okay.
talking about
I have that. I have it. I have all the music that you sent him. I have it. Yeah.
It has it's say it correctly. Forgive me if I say it wrong. The Ampiano.
I'm a piano. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm a piano. Yes.
It has that feeling. I was very nervous.
Okay.
I want those divas to the culture.
Yes.
And then the other one, Queen, is by my friend Taylor. She's also a singer, songwriter, rapper, and also we do a lot of sync work together.
I followed her.
And so she I'm sorry, forget y'all, it's my dog. He's restless. She and I, we're working together. I'm actually got to finish working on a mix for her tonight. So
Chuck shared all the music with all of us.
Yeah. And Dayna also, the latest single, her latest single that she dropped called Lover Girl, that's Dayna Madison. She just dropped that a few weeks ago, and it's featuring Eastside K-Boy and Ashley Amani. So that's the West Coast vibe, but I just wanted to shout out all those artists.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
And for allowing me, just trusting me with their art, and being a part of their music.
That is it. That is it.
Great.
Thank you so much. This
Yes,
brings
thank
us
you.
to the end of the show. We've done
I got something special going on with It's Brandis too. Y'all keep a lookout for It's Brandis. She got some big stuff on the way too.
okay. Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Shout out It's Brandis. Big up yourself.
Brandis.
Yes, yes. All right. That brings us to the end of the show. We've done more than 30 minutes into the hour 5 right here in Ghana, West Africa, precisely in Ashanti region. My name is Trap God, your host for tonight, and we've had an encounter with the genius, biggest genius,
Great.
Octavia Landix, coming out to bless us with a lot of gems, and I'm truly grateful. The conversation went on from an interview into a podcast, and that's how awesome, wonderful it is. Yes. And I'm very blessed. So much intellectual knowledge from a very powerful woman. God bless you so much. And I pray that the Most High would continuously uplift you and uplift your businesses and your talent to higher heights, because this is the first time I've actually, had a one-on-one with a woman in the industry who has so much power and so much knowledge. This is my first time.
Yes.
I've met with female artists. I've had vibes with female artists, but not a female producer of such caliber. Just
and
as you said,
messed around on FL Studio
in the
myself,
1%,
girl.
as you said.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, in the 1%. So I'm very grateful. God bless you so much, and then we'll keep up to
Thank
do
you.
Thank you so
part
much.
2. And I would like to shout out my sponsors: Rasta Breadman Company, Tough Bars Entertainment, Yardi Sessions, Team 4K Shooters, Natty Art Bashment, and Forever Booming Incorporated. Big up everybody who supported the show, who shared, who tapped, and everybody who gifted. We are very grateful. We'll be here again with Octavia Landix. Yes. Thank you all so much.
Look forward to
Most
it.
definitely.
All right.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Guys.
All right. Blessings.